I'm Kris with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight after an awful trip to Houston. Kings will still be without their all-star guard De'Aaron Fox, who is still dealing with a sprained ankle that he suffered against the Los Angeles Lakers. You can listen to tonight's game starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. The college football playoff rankings were revealed yesterday, and the teams remain unchanged. Ohio State is the number 1 team in the country, followed by Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State to make up the college top 4. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get started with the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown.
All right, first off, is Doug Christie with us today? Just curious.
I would like to think he's always with us.
Why is that?
I'm just following along, man. It says the Carmichael Dave Show with Doug Christie on the YouTube. So
wow.
Is there a surprise?
You know what?
Huh.
That is like sunk into my brain somewhere to when I have to load a show up. Automatically, Doug Christie like goes through my fingers.
Interesting. Also, very good to isolate because I was thinking when I saw that, I was like, that's never been a thing. I've never done a show with Doug before. So I don't even.
So now you're suddenly excited.
You've done one.
Have I?
One.
I don't know.
Like a weird fill-in.
It was like.
Yeah, you could be right.
There was like no one else to fill in for some reason. You got the call.
Right.
Like that one time you did pre and post game for the Kings.
I've done that actually back in the day. I did that a few times. I did pre, half, and post, and that was fun. And that is true. Actually, I am usually like I'm okay with this. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
I'm okay with this. They usually with all the, especially before we got our shows situated. Everyone moved everywhere, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, nope, dude, we're keeping that in more. You stay over there.
Yeah.
You're not good for all time zones. You stay over there. Maybe I did do a show with Doug once, but not enough. Certainly not enough times to where the Carmichael Dave Show with Doug Christie would ever.
Right.
I mean, God bless Doug, of course.
Yeah.
I was a little excited. You look nice today. Not that you
Thank
don't
you.
look nice.
Hey, you look nice too.
Well, I look
Chris
emo.
said you looked emo.
First thing you said, like emo. I'm having hair issues today, so I apologize. But are you going? Do you have a meeting? You have
Yes,
you have
job interview.
Yeah, are you going somewhere? Lot to cover. First off, thank you as always. I watched the beginning of the show yesterday. I try to watch when I'm gone as much as I can, but I didn't even wake up until you can always tell when I'm really having issues when I'm not on Twitter. Like I actually was almost 24 hours not on Twitter. Like just could not even look at my phone. Like it was messing with me. I saw the open. I saw the first, I think 2.5 minutes of the open where there was no sound. That was cool. And then right when you started breaking into the text I sent you, and I went back because I'm like, why is Jason having problems reading the text message I sent him? Can Jason not read? What's going on? I sent you this text: fighting the battle but losing, up all night with a migraine. This one is terrible. Icing, tap, and hoping, but please prep like I won't be there. That's me texting but not being able to see very well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what icing tap meant.
I didn't either.
I think it meant icing up. I have all kinds of different things. I can have like a headband with ice in it. I have little pads I can put behind my neck with ice. So I think that was icing up, but I can't see very well. So I'm kind of relying on when I do get those migraines, my vision is shot. anyways, yeah, it sucked, and we've gone through this before. If you've been with me long enough, where I will get a migraine and usually be able to catch it and take my meds. But this one was, as they will be sometimes, completely different. I got about 1:30 in the morning and medicated, but I never was able to really go back to sleep. That's when I texted you so early. I can only describe it as imagine Excalibur just stabbed in the soft part of the base of your skull. And it is I could not be upright, but it also felt crappy to be prone, and there's no way to get comfortable. And then the fun stuff, your eyesight goes, you get incredibly nauseous. And on top of that, for some reason, I was sneezing.
Fun.
Let me tell you, dude, sneezing when you have a migraine is just when I say this, I'm not joking, because I've experienced both. If you gave me a choice between sneezing yesterday with a migraine and you absolutely kicking me right in the sack, I'll take the kick.
Wait, you've experienced that from Jason?
Yeah, it hurts. Well, it's a couple times when I've messed up a segment or something. So I had a day in the hospital yesterday and lots of tests and stuff. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. And MC on the chat, who for years, and rightfully so, has suggested it's a cervical issue. The top of my mind, when he first said that, I was like, I don't have a cervix. What are you talking about? But then I get it. It's not. It's a nerve issue. It's not the spine. It's the nerves at the bottom of my base of my skull, top of my neck. It's the nerves, and it turns out I've been doing a ton of stuff wrong, like ibuprofen. Nope, Tylenol. Ibuprofen below the neck, Tylenol above the neck. Okay. Secondly, sleeping on my side as a sleep apnea. Nope, don't sleep on your side. It cuts off like half your oxygen. Sleep on your back. Uh-oh, but I have sleep apnea. Well, wear your stupid mask, idiot. So there's that. And then a host of other things. And I won't go into the prescriptions they gave me yesterday, but let me just say I probably won't be taking half of them.
Yeah.
Yet they'll somehow disappear in my house. I won't say who or what. Blame my wife for that. But, they gave me some fun stuff, of which I'm not going to do. So, anyways,
well, that's good.
Some of them are just they're pretty hardcore. Like, I'm not trying to take a Norco out of work.
Yeah.
You know that type of thing. So, thank you as always. It's not just being sick; it's being sick with it's noticed for you.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. Now, to the issue at hand. Kris. Gatekeeping son of a. What are you talking about? Yes, I made Pasole the other night. That is a fact.
Allegedly.
So
I did not know that you would get roasted.
I knew I would.
Like
You
a
did?
fine.
I knew I would. You know why I got roasted? Because he's a gatekeeper. That's why he gatekeeps. He's a gatekeeper.
You didn't get roasted by anybody with your picture?
Well, the thing is, because some people misunderstood. Like there was, for some reason, I tried to put just the ingredients. There was like 2 cans of like or two bottles of
Glass cleaner.
yeah, glass cleaner. All right, what are you doing with it? There was like they're like, don't put corn Pasole. I'm like, well, okay, technically there's a lot of corn Pasole, but no, I'm not putting that corn. You thought it was beans.
Yeah, I looked really quick.
Yeah, it's a giant can of hominy, which is corn. It is a process. Now, gumbo is also a process.
which I thought you were making.
I was gonna, and then I saw a video, and it's something my cousin made it.
Delete it.
A while ago, and I got a hair up and had some time on my hands that afternoon. So, I should say afternoon. I started at about 11 a.m. It's a process, man. Like, it's a process. It starts with, I've always gone in the grocery store and you see those big bags of like dried peppers. And I'm always like, yep, this is not my aisle. I'm good. I don't know what to do with any of this. But following the instruction, I got this giant, that was the bag you were looking at. It was a giant bag of dried pasilla or poblano, depending on where you're at, peppers. And you get the peppers, the hominy. There's actually not a ton of ingredients. Some pork shoulder, but it's the process of the whole thing. You start with the boiling water in one soup pot, and then in the other is where you're really reconstituting the peppers and letting them steep for lack of a better term. By the way, if I'm slurring a little bit today, if I'm a little bit slow, I apologize. That's the stuff that got me. So once that's done, along with a whole peeled onion and some garlic that are in there with the peppers, you basically go through this process where you take some of the liquid and the peppers and you blend them, and then you strain the blending to take out the fibers, and you now have the bulk of what's the base of the broth here is the peppers in there. And I threw in an ancho and a couple of Anaheim chilies just for whatever.
Good so far.
You saw the chicken broth, and the chicken broth in these cases, it was my first pozole, but it's not my first soup. I tend to like chicken broth as a seasoning rather than just straight salt. If you tasted it, there's no you're not tasting any chicken broth. You're just simply it's just a way. It's a seasoning. It's a salt. And when I made almost 7 quarts. It was a huge thing. One little box of that. So you get everything together. You slow simmer pork. You get it all done. But that's not really pozole. What I've learned is it's really 35% the soup, right? It's about the accoutrements, the lime, radish, cilantro, avocado seems to be optional, but we included it. I know you got pissed off at the sour cream.
Oh, that was like a deal breaker.
Yeah, no, and let me explain, because he's right. By the letter of the law, he's 100% right. Sour cream does not belong in pozole. What happened was, I also, when I make something with peppers or spice, we're going to go on. When I make something with peppers or spice, one of the things I like to do to balance, you have like a jalapeno or one of your spice your peppers on up, more of a front of the tongue, I got you sort of spice. A habanero I like to use in cooking with spice if you use it responsibly, because it's more of a back of the tongue. It's a balance. So I threw in some cheesecloth, a couple of habaneros in there, split habaneros without the seeds and ribs, just for that balance, which I got, but was a little, not a ton, but just enough to be uncomfortable. You probably would have loved it. The sour cream exists if you want, is what I've found. That will kind of, it dulls it a little bit. Not just going in, but coming out, dulls it a little bit. He's right. But also, I would say a dollop of sour cream on your pozole, which I also would do with like chili. I don't feel like I committed a religious, famous, but hey, whatever. Then you
I came into your church, threw down the holy water. It doesn't matter. It's not blasphemous.
It's more like I came into your church and I learned your teachings and I applied them to my life. And then what you saw in the middle was they're generally served with like a tostada shell, and that's what I kind of stuck in the middle there. So rating, very good. I actually really enjoyed it. It is, as a lot of Mexican / Latin cuisine, whether it's pozole, a mole sauce, which I've not tried to tackle yet. That'll be when I'm on vacation sometime. Christ, I can't think right now. The paella.
That's Spanish.
That's Spanish. I know, but that's I'm just saying in the royal cuisine, there's a lot of. I'm saying, how do you Spanish, Mexican? Don't those all fall under, or do they fall under what umbrella is it? Latin? Help me out here. Is it Latin cuisine? Are they just completely is Spanish to Mexican like me saying English to Indian? I mean, I'm asking it, or do they all fall in the same family?
No, they're not.
They're not in the same family. So
a lot of the Latin cuisine is older, like what the natives made. So
okay,
like a taco was what like the native in America were making it. There was no taco in Spain.
So if one of the dishes I like to make is cochinita, which is a Yucatan dish, it's a Mayan dish. Mm-hmm. Now, would that be classified as Latin?
Yeah.
Yes. But Spanish would be European?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Yet when I learned Spanish in school, it was Spanish there and Spanish here. Nosotros thing was different. It was nosotros and vosotros. I think that was the big.
And they have a list.
Yeah, they do. With what? Is it the S's that are?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. There is something that's a little bit different. Anyway, so thank you, and I enjoyed it.
And to be very fair, I reached out to the known pozole makers. And I said, like, because I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is a thing. Maybe this is a thing. Maybe
I think it's a thing.
And they're like, I've never seen this before in my life. And then I Googled pozole sour cream.
Yeah.
There was one article that came up from it.
It was a big circle with a splash through it.
The title was The Caucasity of It All.
Does it make a difference at all to you as we take?
And I also said to Jason, before, I would have liked to have seen it before the sour cream because I really can't. I'm like, that threw me so much I couldn't tell.
He was done.
I'm like, it could be good.
Well,
I don't know.
It's funny you say that because I brought some. So the microwave downstairs right now. And so at our next break, I'm going to bring you each out. The thing, I don't have all the accoutrements, but I do have like some
Sour
lime. I didn't bring the sour cream. I have lime. I have the tostadas. I have, but I'll bring it up. I'll have a couple jalapenos in case I know your spicy face. But does it make a difference at all that I use Mexican crema and not sour cream? Like, just saying. I did try to keep it up.
That's about this worse.
Does it sound like I'm saying like, hey, does it make any difference? I use the Mexican crema. I was trying to be authentic, Kris. Jesus, come on, man. I'm trying to be authentic. We'll take a break. When we come back, screw up. Leading off is next.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Guys, your promise is your word, right? You stick by it, you live by it. So does Revive Men's Health with our Revive Promise for low T and ED. The Revive Promise means your tests and lab work are free when you begin treatment, and our low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Yes, that's right. We stand behind our treatments and our results. That's our promise to you. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men with low T, ED, and sexual health issues since 2011. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic low energy, less drive, sleep issues, weight gain, poor performance, bad moods, or ED, you need Revive. Don't settle. Get affordable, guaranteed custom low T and ED solutions with lasting results from Sacramento's favorite men's clinic. And remember, there are no extra bills when you begin treatment. All labs and tests are free, and your low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento today to schedule your appointment. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
The sense of urgency is there. You don't ever want to get too far behind in this league. But the neat part about it, there's a lot of basketball left. And as crazy as it sounds, like I said earlier, we're facing some adversity. And I'm intrigued by it because I want to see how we can handle it. I want to see if we have the mentality and fortitude to be able to handle what's in front of us.
All right, before we get started, Kris, are you aware of and did we fix the audio issue on YouTube? Yes. Yeah, we did. Okay. Sorry, YouTubes. Just saw it. Hopefully all good. By the way, who was it that asked? Somebody asked. Oh, Alejandro, my buddy there. Just to be clear, I did not make pozole yesterday when I was sick. Pozole was the day, but it was like, hey, you made pozole all day, but you didn't come into work.
Yeah.
No, I was
the day before.
Yeah, it was the day before. Thank you very much.
Can we normalize not like getting into people's business when they're sick?
What do you mean by that?
Like,
I mean, I tend to agree, but
oh, you didn't come into work, but you had all day to make pozole. You know what? That's really none of your business.
Yes, you're right. And since I'm the one under fire here, I tend to agree. Is it different when you're? I mean, I'm going to sound like a public figure, but when is it different when
it's public?
When it's our job, or we owe them a little more of us, or am I just being deferential there? Like, should they? I feel like I feel like when I miss a day, I let everybody down. It sucks. I'm the biggest wuss in the world, and I feel incredibly apologetic. Like, also, I get pissed off because I look up and my work day, and there's 332 sick hours there that I'm never going to use. Can we normalize using sick hours?
Yes.
As vacation?
Yes.
Or getting paid out on them?
Yes.
Can we just do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we agree there. Can we also normalize not having a day last week where it's the sports equinox where everything is being played, and then last night there's like nothing.
Nothing.
What, college basketball?
Yeah, that's something.
I watched I didn't watch anything until late last night, but I ended up watching Life on Our Planet with my daughter. It's the Steven Spielberg thing on Netflix where they go back and it looks like they got real dinosaurs.
Oh,
that's good though.
No. It was a good little break, and we watched. And it's like, oh, there's the Stegosaurus. It looks so real, and it really does. They did a great job on this, but there's just nothing. I had to make up my own sports. Then I started watching the Beckham documentary, like as a sport. Like
you made up your own sports.
I made up my own, like sports viewing. Like, oh, hey, here's a Beckham documentary. I'll watch that.
Jason's gonna watch Ted Lasso.
I still have to watch the final season. Season 3. I've watched the first 2. I love it. I just haven't.
You know what?
Wouldn't
be the worst thing if you took your time.
It's
not that it's bad,
just not as good.
Yeah.
Has it jumped the old Sharky?
It's like not a lot of Ted Lasso.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. He's the best part. We do have sports back tonight.
Yes, we do. Thank goodness. Well, let's hope.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is it? Because I can tell you right now, the best part about yesterday is the Kings didn't lose.
True.
I also understand why people would think I was out. Like, literally, the Kings' performance sent me to the hospital yesterday. Like, that's what happened.
That's believable.
I haven't been that upset at the Kings in I don't even know how long. Maybe it was exactly a year when they went 0-4. I don't know. But I watched that game, and, like, I had to be very careful because normally I'll go. I'm trying to filter myself a little bit more on social media. But what I wanted to do at one point is be like, screw it, trade them all. These guys are a bunch of wussies. They have no heart. This is embarrassing. Have some professional pride. What is wrong with you?
It sounds like a really good idea.
Super good idea.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, we're missing our best player. Okay, well, how often do we see other good teams? How often have we had really good teams come into Sacramento over the years when we sucked especially? Oh, hey, the Spurs are missing Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. Oh, they beat us by 18. And I look back at the 1-point loss in Golden State to the Warriors. Okay, where's that team?
Right.
Does Golden State are they not that good?
They stayed in San Francisco.
Apparently they did. So to me, that's a mental thing. We'll talk about this a little bit later today. I don't know what the hell Mike Brown's supposed to do, but if they come out tonight, Anthony Simon, Scoot Henderson, and I think somebody else I forget. Robert Williams, thank you, out with Portland. If they come out tonight and they lose at home to Portland, I'm just telling you right now, not that I'm breaking any news here, but it will be 10 out of 10 on the panic button. 10 out of 10. Bedlam. It will be bedlam.
And you know what I've found over the years?
Nah.
That's super productive.
It's really, I think that Mike Brown and Monty McNair need our feedback.
Yes.
I also saw the other night, this is how close we are. I saw my first 2 Mike Brown needs to go tweets.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Cut number 2.
He came over to dap me up during the game. Good to see him after the game. I didn't realize that was going to get caught there. I mean, obviously that was said with a little tongue-in-cheek there. It'd be nice to be able to be back in a couple weeks. That's probably not anywhere near a realistic timeline. But a couple is, could be a few, could be a lot. It's more of praise that didn't have a specific timetable. But I said it smiling, joking. He was talking about how he's excited for me to get back on the field at some point. I joked that it'd be a few weeks, but obviously it's going to be more than a couple weeks.
So a couple's 2, a few's 3.
Yep.
A Rushmore is 4.
I'm aware of this.
Right. So I'm just saying,
it's gonna be a few.
A pantheon.
It's gonna be a few fortnights. It'll be a few fortnights.
A few fortnights. Now that I'm half English, I know that a fortnight's like 2 weeks.
They use that a lot.
I know, just a ton. So a couple fortnights would be 4 weeks, right?
He said a few, though.
He said a few. So at minimum, we're talking 6 weeks. People are just assuming 6 weeks, but a few could be 4 fortnights. It could be 4 months.
4 months would not have him back.
I think if the Jets are in playoff contention come December, he's coming back. And then that potentially could be the most out of the blue, insane NFL story of the year. Already, he's got a top 5 NFL story, but it was just, we almost forget about it now. That was game 1 with the flag, and everyone was, hey, Aaron Rodgers. And then, well, now, if he were to come back and do something, there's a lot going on there. First off, it's the Jets, Jets.
True.
Secondly, his new team. Thirdly, they've got a good defense. Fourthly, does that set the new standard for Achilles repair? And then fifthly, the amount of Rodgers bros that would be like, see, dude, ayahuasca, and and just denying the norm and not believing the somehow someone will tie Aaron Rodgers coming back early to not believing the fake news media.
Right.
But there's going to be a
natural
connection.
tie-in.
Someone who trades a lot of crypto and pays for Twitter is 100% going to do. Kris, am I wrong? Is that someone who pays for Twitter and trades a lot of crypto is 100% going to tie Aaron Rodgers coming back to not believing the fake news media?
Exactly. And it won't be a breathtaking medical advance.
No.
It will just be because Aaron Rodgers believed he could.
Oh, and also he didn't get the vaccine. That will
exactly.
That will 100% happen. It'll probably happen on our YouTube chat in about 30 seconds. I'm counting it down. We'll take a break. Our next story was Carson Wentz returns, but let's be honest, I was struggling for content. Who cares? He's going back to the Rams, or he's going to the Rams, and you know what? The NFL is a better place for it.
Sure.
Yeah, great. Carson Wentz is back.
Yeah, good.
The long national nightmare is over. We'll take a break. When we come back, Kings versus Portland tonight. And are these growing pains, or is this a slump? Katie Christensen will join us at 8 a.m. Dan Hawkins, coach of the UC Davis Aggies, he'll join us at 6:43 for his weekly stop. But when we come back, Kings on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out nice and cool. Expect temperatures this morning down into the 40s as we head through the afternoon. Bright and breezy out there. Temps in the upper 60s to low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said, I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Despite being on their bye week, the 49ers had a good Week 9 with all other NFC West teams losing. The red and gold sit at 5-3 currently, regaining a hold of the top spot in the division with Seattle's loss to Baltimore. The 49ers will look to rally in Week 10, heading to Jacksonville for a road clash with the AFC South leaders. And after adding former number 2 overall pick Chase Young at the trade deadline, the squad feels rejuvenated to make a run into 2024.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stone's learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you. Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of thousands of customers every single day. Learn how you can leverage their reach for your business. Text digital to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text digital to 916-766-5105.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. I'm Kris Verlad with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight after an awful trip to Houston. Kings will be without their all-star guard De'Aaron Fox, who is still dealing with a sprained ankle that he suffered against the Los Angeles Lakers. You can listen to tonight's game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. College football playoff rankings were revealed yesterday, and the teams remain unchanged. Ohio State is the number 1 team in the country, followed by Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State to make up the college football top 4. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, welcome back. So about the Kings. Hey, Kris, come here, please.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Come in here. Bring your headphones. Come in. All right. Oh, he's got a fade. He's got a fade. All right, so we're gonna talk Kings. Oh, coming up later in the show.
Another day.
Arms wide open. We're gonna give you some Creed tickets. All right. So while we talk. I didn't bring all the accoutrements. I apologize, but and by the way, I know it's early and this is a heavy thing, but just I brought some pozole for you, mainly for Kris, but you know, not that. You all right? Yeah, these mics might need to be, you know. if you're just joining us, it's hot. It's very hot. If you're just joining us, I made Pisoli, and then I was sick. Okay, and then
thank you.
I got a bunch of crap because of my excessive caucasity.
You got that word right.
Yeah, and then my hands are clean, by the way.
Oh,
Here's
I don't like it.
No.
I don't want any.
Oh, you don't want it?
No.
Sure.
Oh, why not?
I don't put.
That's what it said in the thing. It said you're supposed to use a tostada.
I usually use corn tortilla.
Oh, okay. I brought some. Those are Katie's jalapenos. So at your
Are
own
you
risk.
supposed to use lime? Chris?
Yeah, gotta use lime. It needs cilantro. Normally, I would have a little bit of cabbage, cilantro, avocado, which is optional, lime,
sour cream.
Yeah, I left the sour cream at home. Oh, and I brought you guys some napkins. Hold on. So, anyways, I thought we could sit and talk Kings, and what?
Nothing.
Okay, and let me be clear about something. I have no ego when it comes to cooking, so. This is
terrible.
Yeah, this is not
a big part of your life.
This is not this is not one of those. Oh, he was nice and he brought it in.
I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, I would be. He was nice. He brought in food, so we are like forced to try to be nice. Like it's about feedback. Okay, so you have the pork. Jason, I say I gave you a bay leaf by accident, but hey, whatever. You're looking at Kris. Why are you looking at Kris for direction?
No, I saw you said bay leaf by accident. I was looking to see if he had a leaf.
I don't think I don't think I got a leaf in there.
Yes.
Did you get a leaf? Well, both of you actually. Just don't eat the leaf. So they're eating right now, as you can probably not see on the YouTube. But anyways,
you know what? First time.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Now look at that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And I think to be clear, you would crush me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to.
And
I kind of want to say cinnamon.
and again, it's all about feedback. It's all about, so obviously, if you like it, it's perfect. You like it, it's perfect. Yeah, the crunch. It's about textures, and there's a little
they have flavoring on that.
What's the proper pronunciation of that, Kris?
Tahine.
Not Taijin, as somebody has been saying for a long time. That looks like me.
I will say the jalapenos, incredible.
Yeah, those are Katie's homegrown jalapenos. Yeah, I don't know if the habanero comes through much, but anyways, so again, feedback always welcome. But as
I would say for me, I would want it a little bit more spicier, but the jalapenos help with that. But
yes,
overall.
That's honestly great feedback, and I kind of purposely do that. Like I'll season things, but when it comes to, I can't unspice something. So I'll start at a lower and let people kind of do their own thing.
I give it solid B.
Solid B. Look, which I did not have the next morning, by the way.
I hadn't had any pork yet, and I finally did. The pork's delicious.
Yes, thank you. And this is definitely, as most acid-based soups and stews are, this is far better, I found, the next day and the day after. I think
this is the next day. I mean,
this is the day.
2 days.
2 days.
After.
This is
it's delicious.
This and tomorrow will be the peak of its powers. I do think so.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I would really enjoy it with sour cream.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, Kris. That's what I'm saying, fellow Caucasian. That the sour cream, little bit of sour cream with
avocado too.
Avocado gives it a nice. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Jeez. No, it's really good. I know that would frighten Kris.
I don't know.
The pork is really good.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Kris would, as one of the additions, much like the cilantro or, we also had oregano on the side.
I was scared of the spice.
What's the crumbly? Is it cotija cheese?
Koja cheese?
Koja?
Koja. Yeah.
Okay, that's like tight.
Maybe the different cheeses you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do not put cheese in your Masoli.
Cotiga is what you're thinking of, right?
Cotija.
I mean, J.
Yes. Cotija, right?
Yeah, but what did he say?
Koja. Oh. Koja? Well, whatever. Kings play tonight.
They got to coach them up.
There's injuries on both sides. Trey Lyles and De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, don't run my soup.
Says, "Oh no, you guys just eat. I got you. You got me yesterday. I got you today." De'Aaron Fox and Trey Lyles.
Soup in the morning is good.
I completely agree. Soups and stews in the morning are wonderful. So is rice.
Yeah,
rice with a soup, something like that. Just
warm in the innards.
It really does. And by the way, this is definitely a comfort food. 100% classify this as this will go in the rotation. It's just going to be one of those things. It's like a special. It's like my wife and her dad used to make tamales every Christmas, and that's it. I had no idea the
process.
Oh my goodness!
Well, to make one, it's not a big deal, but when you're not making one, you're making dozens, 1,000.
Yeah, it's a whole assembly line. It
takes fortnights.
Yeah, it does. It takes several fortnights, like Aaron Rodgers. We will, of course, have all the coverage for you right here on Sactown Sports with Gary Gerald. And was noticing something yesterday that was making the rounds too. The Sacramento Kings lead the NBA in wide open 3-point attempts. Lead the NBA, and a wide open 3-point attempt is classified as a 3-point attempt where there is nobody within 6 feet of you, and they're shooting 25%.
It's a problem. Suddenly they can't shoot.
That stat alone, other than the fact that De'Aaron Fox has been out and they're losing, which is obvious when he comes back, they'll be better. But I think that stat alone has buoyed me a little bit over the last couple of days. That is going to rise, not regress, but rise to the mean at some point. Like, they're not going to hit. No, they didn't forget to how to shoot a 3-pointer.
Right.
They're just in Brick City right now.
Lyles is one of their better shooters too.
He 100%
would help that.
Guys like Kevin Huerter, who's dealing with it. Sasha Vezenkov has not been great at all and that is why he got brought here. Even Keegan has not, who's been, I think I saw Harrison Barnes like 62% from behind the arc so far this year, which really surprised me.
Take more.
Take all of them.
It's kind of invisible the other day.
We'll take a break. A lot of Kings too. We're going to get to the Kings again at 7 a.m. When we come back though, Coach Dan Hawkins, UC Davis Aggies, right here on Sactown Sports. Coach Dan Hawkins joins us each and every week off the one saving grace for Sacramento area sports last week. And we'll talk to him as we do each and every week. Very enjoyable. We'll do that next.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
It's the first ever Elk Grove Kia Frozen Turkey Bowling Extravaganza on November 18th, 2023 from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. That's right, a frozen turkey becomes the bowling ball, and 10 liquid-filled plastic beverage bottles are your pins. It's not just bowling, it's an adventure. Knock down those pins. Each pin has a number attached to it, which means your skills can lead you to awesome prizes. And guess what? Each person gets 2 rolls, so you can aim for perfection. Now, how can you be part of this amazing event? Simple. Register at Elk Grove Kia for one of the 8 coveted spots through a raffle. But hurry, the registration deadline is November 17th, 2023 at 6 p.m. sharp. And here's the best part. No purchase is necessary. That's right. It's all about the fun and games. So make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall today for a chance to win a spot at the inaugural Elk Grove Kia Turkey Bowl. Rules and regulations at elkgrovekia.com.
Elk Grove Kia.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Let's head out. The theater's about to close.
Wait, what does that sign say?
Warning, watch your step?
No, next to it.
If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Well, the lone saving grace in Sacramento sports last weekend, as Sac State lost, Republic crashed out of the Western Conference Finals. The Kings got destroyed in Houston. It was just a bad weekend in Sacramento area sports, except for one team that said, no, we're not.
Yeah, we're not falling for that.
No, as UC Davis got a big win, 37-23 over Portland State. And now here's the thing. This is messing my bit up now, because I want to say that this weekend they travel to Idaho to take on the hated. I mean, let me tell you, I know I say that about other teams.
Coach doesn't like that.
The Idaho State Bengals just disgust me, but I can't do that because it's a Hawkins Bowl.
It is the Hawkins Bowl this weekend.
It's father versus son in the Hawkins Bowl at 3 p.m. this Saturday. And boy, do we have a lot to talk with Coach Dan Hawkins about. Coach, it's David, it's Jason. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah, can't say the hated Idaho State Bengals because it's a family thing, but my goodness, in all seriousness, I know you're a pro and your son's a pro and you guys are going to X's and O's and all that, but it has to be different coaching and seeing your son across the sideline.
Well, yeah, of course, I've never done it. But, you know, it's crazy. You do this for a long time. You coach against guys you coached with and you know well. And so... And then there's a whole bunch of guys on his staff that either played here or coached here as well. So there'll be a lot of familiarity.
Yeah, for sure. And the unique part, like, I don't know if there's an advantage in that. I'm sure, you know, Cody was with you, played for you, and then coached with you. He might know more of your tendencies. Is there anything in an advantage for him in that at all, Coach?
Well, he obviously knows our personnel better than we know his, for sure. So he has a little bit of advantage that way.
Let me ask you this. This is your first time doing this with him. So is there a protocol? Like, have you guys talked much, texted much this week? Have you agreed to, we'll talk after the game type of thing?
No, we've texted a few times back and forth. Usually revolves around the grandkids rather than him. So he said the grandkids were plotting against him because they were staying up all night and he wasn't getting any sleep. So he was pretty sure they were favoring us.
Has there been any even light trash talk at all? Any sort of like, you know, good luck, old man, you're going to need it, or any sort of trash talk, or are we keeping it professional?
Actually, none. Actually, wow. It's just funny. I mean, I always try to help him as much as I can. Not this week, of course. But he's very much the same way. So yeah, it's not that really kind of relationship. I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to whose team does what they do well, the best, and who executes. So I know it always kind of corny and people don't like it. Sports is so much of a battle against your own self. They throw it around a ton. They lead the nation in passing, and they're very good at it. And if we don't do a nice job, they're going to ring up the scoreboard that way. I mean, we're a different football team, and he knows that. And just like last week, we take care of the football. I think we were 100% in the red zone, and we were close to 70% on third downs, which those two areas have absolutely destroyed us this year, and really the turnovers too. So, I mean, if we can do a good job in third downs and red zone and take care of the football, we have an advantage.
And Coach, just kind of looking at the landscape for you, for the Aggies, there's still a shot here at the hopes that you guys wanted. Obviously, if you could beat Idaho State, and then the following week is the Causeway. If those two things fall in your favor, 7-4, I mean, there's a real chance that you guys could be in that field of 24 at the end.
Well, again, I don't get too hung up. I think some rankings, it's crazy how people rank. I think we're 19th in the Massey rankings, and you have to deserve to go. So, I mean, if we played well last week, we played this week and next week, and you deserve to go. You hope you have a chance. I really thought we were a playoff team last year, but did not go. We had a better team last year than we did the year before when we went to the playoffs. So who knows how all that goes? You throw it up into the ethosphere and hope it comes back in a good package. But we're just trying to string, a few good Saturdays back to back here, which we just hadn't done this year. I mean, we finally played good football start to finish last week.
UC Davis coach Dan Hawkins with us. Coach, I like to ask you every show something kind of non-specific, and you led right into it perfectly, rankings. Jason and I are huge college football fans, and we've often had the conversation on the show that preseason rankings are, again, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you're the coach, but they just seem kind of worthless and unfair to a lot of teams. Once you're ranked preseason, if you're low, you've got to work your way up artificially. And we always wondered why they don't just, like the BCS, have the first rankings come out, a month or two into the season. And once you've had a chance to see the landscape as a coach, are those rankings, even though you don't pay attention maybe so much mid-season, like are they more of a source of frustration than anything else?
Well, there's a lot of frustrating things in life, as you well know. And I always say the rankings don't matter, but obviously when you're in it, then you sort of have to play your way out. And if you're out, then it takes you a while to play your way in. And they are not at all, particularly at our level. And even the other rankings that come out in FBS are very much the same way. It's off of reputation last year and guessing. And really even so much at our level. I laugh because we have an FCS coaches poll. Well, I mean, we're not splattered all over TV and media like Power 5 teams are. There's no way teams and coaches back east know what we're doing, and to some degree vice versa.
Sure. So
you're just voting off of your guessing. So it's not a very good system by any means. So you throw it out there and throw spaghetti against the wall, but it's pretty arbitrary. Back when I was a voter, when I was at Colorado and at Boise, I mean, I really did. I tried to invest some good time in. I said, guys are out there putting their lives on the line, and I owe it to them to do a pretty good job voting. And it was interesting because sometimes I would drop somebody a lot for a loss, and they would call you and go, "Hey, I don't know if you should, drop them that far out." I'm going, "Hey, I saw these guys. They're not very good," but they were kind of going, I don't know, or they didn't like it if you move somebody way up or somebody way down. It was kind of a game of Tetris. And so, it's not a complete system by any means, for sure.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Coach. I think about at your level too. Like, I'll just do an example. What does a coach at Furman know about Idaho? What does Southern Utah know about Chattanooga? I mean, that's really an impossible ask, I think, at the FCS level.
No question. It is. And I can pretty much tell you, I mean, we see some of those teams a little bit, but I mean, almost none.
Right.
Almost none.
Last thing, Coach, other than the Michigan thing, which we've already talked to you about in the past, the other big story in college football, weirdly, was the quarterback at USC, number one pick in the draft, probably, if he comes out, was seen after that loss to Washington, sobbing in his mom's arms on the sideline. And it sparked this whole debate as to, could NFL GMs drop him because he's not mentally fit, or should you cry in public? Will his teammates follow him less if he shows that type of emotion as a quote grown man? I'm curious, as a coach, I'm sure you've been around players before that have cried in frustration after a loss, after a heartbreak. And as a coach, how do you feel about that?
I've cried. I've cried. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
it's a highly emotional game. People put a lot into it. I still say this, and I know everybody treats even high school players now, but they treat all these college guys like they're pro players, and you're still dealing with young men.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about biology, you've got a lot of unformed. Their brains are not formed yet. You're still developing. You're still growing. I don't think anybody's going to hold it against him. I mean, imagine though the amount of pressure. And this is kind of what happens in today's world athletically in college, and I get it. But, I mean, this guy is making over $2 million a year playing quarterback.
Yeah.
You're down in the heart of, stardom down there. Everybody treats him like a star. He's supposed to carry the day, and he hasn't, and he didn't, and he doesn't. And, they fired their defensive coordinator, and, SC's all in a big uproar. I mean, I'm sure the pressure that's on that kid is immense. I mean, tremendously immense, financially, emotionally, competitively, all that. So I don't think people are going to hold it against him at all. But I do think it's a window into it's still college athletics, and I know everybody wants to treat them like they're grown guys. I mean, shoot, I'm 60 years old. I still act like a kid sometimes. So. I don't hold it against him. I don't think GMs are going to hold it against him. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather have a kid that cared that much, about losing than a guy that just walks off and goes in the locker room and texts out, "Hey, buy my latest whatever and support my NIL deal." I'd rather have a kid that's upset about losing than not.
Well, Coach, I know it's going to be a special weekend for you, something you haven't experienced before. I'm curious on the kind of the family side of this. You said grandkids are talking about it, but like, I guess wives and spouses and others, you got a mom here. Like, how are they wearing split jerseys? How's the emotion of the close family members of this game this weekend?
My youngest son was going to have shirts made that said "Go Team." So I think they're all trying to stay relatively neutral. One of my oldest daughters said, sometimes I don't know if I should laugh or cry. But most of them are just kind of going with it. The younger grandkids obviously have rooted for UC Davis for a lot longer. And so they feel like, well, I'm going to root for UC Davis. But me and Cody both have tried to convince them, hey, it's not about that. It's whoever's going to play the best, scores the more points. But everybody's good. My wife's good. Of course, she's gonna wear a Davis shirt. She's married to the Davis coach. But yeah, there'll be a bunch of family there, and it'll be fun. I think my granddaughter may do the coin flip of the the game, so that'll be fun. But yeah, we're not gonna get too much angst over the deal.
Well, our audience will know, longtime listeners, that this is the one time. It's not going to happen. You just said it. But this would be the one time in sports where it's acceptable to wear a split jersey or a split hat. If you have a child or a parent that are going against each other, like that's the only time I think it's acceptable, Coach, to wear split hats.
Well, I told them they should have two shirts on, and then like who's ever winning, do like everybody else and be a front runner.
There you go.
Just wear the shirt of the team that's ahead at the time and be ready to switch. So,
well, be ready to switch to Sactown Sports this Saturday, 3 p.m. UC Davis, Idaho State, Hawkins Bowl 1. That's what we're dubbing it, just for the heck of it. We'll get sponsors and everything. Coach, good luck, and good luck to the whole family. More importantly, just enjoy the moment, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you guys. Peace.
All right.
Thank you.
Care. That is Coach Dan Hawkins.
That's unique, though. It is. I mean, it's,
I can't imagine being there. I got to tell you, though, if I'm coaching against Mason in 20 years, and that's.
Maybe Melissa will be.
Right?
Wouldn't the comparison be he has his own talk show?
And we're going after each other in the ratings? I'm not going to lie. Like, there's a large part of me that wants him to win. Like, what do you do there? You just break his legs. That's what you do and say, screw it, kid. This is the real world.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Tough love.
We'll take a break. When we come back, let's look at the Kings this time compared to last year. Are these growing pains or is it legit slump? What the HE double hockey, what's is going on with your Sacramento Kings who take on Portland tonight right here on Sactown Sports. We'll be right back.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out nice and cool. Expect temperatures this morning down into the 40s as we head through the afternoon. Bright and breezy out there. Temps in the upper 60s to low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, as always, of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening at Hoblet this month?
The Black Friday sales event is here, so you can save up to $14,500 off MSRP when you lease a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4xe. That's one of America's favorite SUVs to get your family where they need to go. And you can save thousands in gas over the life of the vehicle.
Okay, but what about that Jeep Wrangler that everybody loves?
Big savings there, too. Right now, save up to $13,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S 4xe. And yes, I did say the all-new 2024, Dave. I see the surprise on your face.
There you go. Better hurry in. Save thousands on your next Jeep. And they have 100 4xe in stock as well. Stop by Hoblet Dodge for a test drive today or search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices. Unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
14,500 total net savings after 11,500 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discount. 13,000 total net savings after 10,000 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discount. Rebates include 7,500 federal tax credit rebate. Subject to change without notice. Lease options subject to credit approval. Not everyone will qualify. 5 of each net savings. See dealer for details.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, these tostadas with the Tajin on them. Pretty good.
I've never tried them before. They are pretty good.
Yeah. It's like a big old circular Dorito with a different. Well, there's a
kick.
Do they have those flavors with the Doritos?
I'm sure. Maybe I haven't seen that.
Well, you would know.
Yeah.
Your brother's
We'll see. It's coming up to Christmas.
Alperen Şengün pretty much dominated Domantas Sabonis over 2 games.
Correct.
And Şengün is 21. I was incredibly wrong about Şengün coming out of the draft. Just my worry with him was not offense. My worry with him was defense. Not that he's a defensive stopper, but he's shown capabilities at defense. I think that's Monty's biggest miss because Şengün was right there when he drafted Davion Mitchell, and we needed somebody there. He would never admit this, I'm sure, and maybe I'm wrong about it, but I mean, any draft you can go down the list, and unless you pick one of the best players, you're going to go, oh, we should have grabbed this guy. We should have grabbed Jokic. Şengün's one of those guys that he filled a need. He was right there.
Maybe you don't have Sabonis.
I don't necessarily know that at this point that would be a bad thing.
Wow.
No, listen, I'm the city's #1 Domantas Sabonis fan.
Are you?
I am. I love Domantas Sabonis. I do. And I think I was reading an article the other day about the trade, the Halliburton-Sabonis trade, and where they're both at right now. And somebody, I think it's maybe the first time I've actually seen it in print in a big publication, said it might go down as the biggest win-win trade in NBA history. It truly was a win. I know there's still Halliburton truthers out there. You don't have to rip one to love the other. They're both amazing. It was going to be Halliburton or Fox. My famous, you got to trade De'Aaron Fox or it's blah, 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 blah. As I've explained before, that whole take I had is so much better if I just say you have to trade one of these guys. You can't have them both in the backcourt, and the front office is screwing up if they do. They can't play together. That would have made that take a lot better. I, in my wildest dreams, didn't think Monty was going to trade his first ever draft pick in the NBA in his second year that loved playing here, blah, 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 blah. Well, obviously, I don't think anybody's upset that they kept De'Aaron Fox, including myself, over Tyrese Halliburton, and God bless Tyrese, but that was a win-win. What I meant by the Sabonis comment is it really is actually an interesting conversation. And again, you can love a guy and still, I think, have the conversation that when you look at Şengün at 21 years old on a rookie contract versus Domantas Sabonis and where they're going, I think Şengün is actually ahead of where Sabonis was at 21. Granted, he was kind of stuck in the mud in OKC and then, I think Indiana after that. But Şengün he's the next to me in line in the Jokic, Sabonis type, all around new world centers type of thing. And I think we saw a big glimpse of that in that series. They missed their 3-pointers, as we talked about. Dylan Brooks was everything about Dylan Brooks that is good about Dylan Brooks was him in that series as well. We call it a series, but got to shake it off, Jason.
Yeah. This to me is more about the Kings and what they didn't do and what they now need to do going forward, because it's not about Portland tonight. It's about Sacramento. It's about Sacramento figuring out this early season crisis, right? It's 3 games is not the end of the world. It's really how you played. And I think we would all say the first one was acceptable if we, no one's wanting to lose, but
sure.
I thought that one was easier to explain away. Man, it's the Warriors. We were tired. It was frustrating to lose by 1.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson, game winner. Man, it wasn't Steph. You got the ball out of their best player's hands. You didn't have your best player. Understandable. The last 2 were really tough to figure out. And really, it was the last one, because the first one you could maybe even, if you wanted to, say, that's one of those things. It's going to happen. It does happen. It'll happen 3 more times, 5 more times this year. It just will. but why? And then the fact that you stayed in the same city, played the same team, had another look at them, and you were considerably worse. That's what was concerning.
Yeah, because here's what I can say. It wasn't a fluke.
Right.
Maybe the first one was a fluke.
Right.
Wasn't a fluke. Houston dominated Sacramento in pretty much every aspect of the game. Now, I agree with you. Sacramento played nowhere near their best, and it remains to be seen, but I feel like Houston played about as good as they could. But look, Houston's 500. They brought in Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. They've got a developing Alperen Şengün, and the rest of that, Jabari Smith Jr., I'm forgetting one guy that was a high draft pick. They've got a good, young, developing roster, and they added two very savvy, very well-placed. Look, you added a point guard, an all-star caliber point guard, and you added a defense-first dog of a wing. Say what you want about Dylan Brooks, and I can say plenty.
Also a new head coach.
And I was going to say, now you bring over Ime Udoka, who took the Celtics to the finals. You've got a whole culture change there. I'm not trying, in no way am I excusing the Kings losing either game. The Kings are a better team, I believe, full stop. But these ain't your daddy's Rockets either of the last couple of years. I don't know that they're going to make the playoffs, but they're sitting on 500 right now. The Kings, for all the talk and bluster and all that, the Kings are exactly where they were last year. They're 2-4. They were 2-4 after an 0-4 start. This is obviously a little bit different. And I was asking myself on the way in, did I feel better about this team last year at 2-4, or do I feel better about this team now at 2-4? And I would have to say, Jason, because of the uncertainty of last year and not expecting them to do as well as they did, I still feel a little bit better because I have a proven product to go on last year with what you would think would be a more seasoned, better roster.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the easiest comp between this year and last year is the 2-4 is the same. They won the 2 games to get to 2-4, so You're feeling better with a 2-game win streak. They did have Fox for all 6 of those games.
Yes.
They didn't have De'Aaron, and he won't be there tonight, and that can't just be the safety net like, oh, well, Fox is out, so everything will be fine when he's back. That looked more broken than just missing De'Aaron Fox to me.
Well, and if you look at it, let's just say for funsies, De'Aaron Fox is there and they win both games in Houston. I don't know if that's a guarantee. I'm just saying they have a better chance. Well, now we're sitting at 4-2 with Portland coming in. That's 5-2, and then
completely different feeling.
It is a completely different feeling. So this team is worse without De'Aaron Fox, but I don't believe that they're a get blown out massively twice. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Jason, they lost by a combined, I think, 43 points over 2 nights to Houston. That's just, for a team that has any sort of expectations on the playoffs, much less a championship, God forbid, that's completely unacceptable.
Plus, the other thing you just try to figure out, again, very early, very small sample size, but if they were historically the greatest offense in the league last year, they have struggled. I mean, they got to 97 the other day with a 37-point fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to get about 80 again.
Yeah.
And so where's the offense been? The shooting you mentioned earlier in the show, wide open threes, how many they're missing. So the offense has completely disappeared, and that was clearly the strength of the team.
I know that I don't even need to really necessarily mention this with our fan base, but this does seem like one of those times tonight early on where we pull out the old Philadelphia Trey Turner situation. And I would really like, when this team comes out, for the crowd to just go ballistic.
I think they will. Pretty reliable.
Give these guys a huge ovation. I really do think, look, whether it's a bad atmosphere and a blah atmosphere or a great atmosphere, it's not necessarily going to win or lose the game. But I do think that these are one of those times. This is one of those times where fans can truly add to the on-court product. I think a lot of these guys are expecting, to come back. Their daubers are down a bit, as Roger Craig used to say, and maybe they're a little unsure. I know we're not going to get to game 1 versus the Warriors last year of levels, but I think it would be pretty cool for these guys to come out and look. If I could snap my fingers, I'd say give them a big, rousing, standing ovation. But this is one of those times where I think it's important to show the team that we're behind them 100%.
For sure. And I think the fans will, but I also think if it somehow goes really poorly,
correct,
they'll hear the other kind of loud rendition of disapproval.
If they lose to Portland tonight, they're getting booed off the floor. Like, no doubt. They're getting booed off the floor. And for those who say don't boo the team, well, if they lose to Portland tonight, they're getting booed off the floor. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And I also think, too, even if we get the great atmosphere to start, if I'm Chauncey Billups, I'm telling my Portland team, guys, it is vital. If we get out to a good start, we truly can win this ball game. You've got to shake the Kings' confidence early, and I think the fans will be the same way. I think if the first time out or whatever, it's 15-10 Portland, it's going to be quiet as a church in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be bad because I think fans are kind of waiting for that shoe to drop. So let's just go with a wire-to-wire 35-point win.
There you go.
Kevin Huerter, 6 of 7 from 3.
Sounds good to me.
3 in the Keys coming up a little bit later.
And his only miss is going to be at the end of the half where he's just throwing it up.
He just hucks it up, and it just goes off the back of the rim, almost goes in. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. College basketball is back. What the heck did you do yesterday with very few sports on? And Aaron Rodgers may be returning. We got you covered next.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet, and the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Yeah, they read a big profile in the New Yorker. Boy, do I sound educated on Ridley Scott yesterday. The director of, I don't know, everything from Aliens to Blade Runner to the 1984 Apple commercial to Gladiator. If it wasn't for the writer's strike, we'd be looking at a release here pretty soon of Gladiator 2, which I guess is next fall.
The actor strike.
Actor strike, writer's strike. Didn't they all strike? They all struck. They struck. But
the actors are still on strike. The writers are no longer.
Yeah, they need to figure that out. It's really screwing up my sister's life, and I feel bad. And that is the only reason they need to figure it out is for my little sister. Yeah. Yes, nobody else's lives matter there. I'm excited for Gladiator 2. I'm also a little scared. I hope it's like Maverick.
Maverick was great.
It was great because you got a lot to live up to, man.
Yeah,
and
Maverick.
Top Gun. Not our 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. Always good at 2:30 in the morning. Question 1, Kris, we're live.
Question 1. College basketball is back. You into it?
No.
Not now.
Not now. College basketball is like baseball a little bit to me, except I'm more excited now about March Madness than I am about the World Series because I'm betting on it. Not money, of course. Right. But I kind of do the same thing. I keep kind of a wary eye on college basketball. I'll watch probably 4 games all year, and 90% of those are Florida State games. And what I mean by 4 games is 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 2 minutes there, and they'll combine for 4 games. I don't start caring about college basketball until February-ish, until the tournaments and stuff. And then it's March Madness time, baby.
Yeah, I used to be such a diehard, would watch all of it, and that's just gone away for me. And I will, much like you, Dave, I'll watch probably more UCLA than anything. But what'll be funny is, I don't know, I'll pick a Saturday in January, and I'm just flipping around. and it'll be Tennessee and Boston College. And I don't know, I'll spend 4 minutes on it, and I'll go, ooh, I need to remember Tennessee, wherever they are in the bracket. And then I'll get the bracket. I'm like, ooh, a 5 seed. Yeah, I like them because I saw 3 minutes on a Saturday, and I probably saw an 8-0 run, and that made my whole judgment on my bracket later. So it's
of course.
Yeah, that's how it'll be. Unless I get wind of a player or two. You know, sometimes there's a name or a team that gets thrown out there a little bit like, hey, you need to watch this guy. Or like, you know, when Zion had a lot of hype, I'm like, oh, Duke's on. Okay, I'll check out Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I have heard really about a guy like that this year.
No, but Cooper Flagg next year.
There you go.
Remember that name.
Okay.
Cooper Flagg. It's just a great, by the way, you know Cooper Flagg is going to be good because that is a wonderful sports name.
Yeah. It's a high school football player in Texas.
100%. The 2 G's at the end, the flag, the whole thing. By the way, another thing that might get your interest peaked on college basketball, you should give a bracket a try this year. Yeah. You should finally just, you know what? Get in a bracket. Trust me, Jason.
You say they're fun.
It's so fun.
Okay.
Question 2, please.
Question 2.
What did you watch yesterday with basically no sports on?
We covered this in the open. I think my viewing yesterday, which by the way didn't even start till the afternoon because I had the migraine, but I think I watched a couple of old Deep Space Nine episodes.
Dork.
Yep. I watched Life on Our Planet with my daughter. It is a cool little nature show about like dinosaurs and stuff. Watched an episode of Beckham, and that's about it. Yeah, that was all about it for the TV viewing, and then I played some slots on my phone. There wasn't a lot. I mean, it sucked. They should warn us about that. Like, throw a football. Let's do a Wednesday night football or something.
Yeah, just because.
Just something. Can
Tuesday night.
Or Tuesday night? And do we know why? Like, why wasn't there basketball last night?
An election.
Oh God, really? I could see that next year. Who cares? It was a Kentucky governor and Ohio things.
Yeah, because Kentucky, they've got all those NBA games.
Yeah, tons of them. Like, come on. And Ohio, well, they got the Cavs, I guess. But
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah. Did they vote? Did they get it done?
Right. And you know what? Here's what the NBA needs to do. And I think this has been bandied around before. Actually, I think it's been done. Can we just do what you just vote at the arena? Roll up. Hey, here's the voting section. Vote. Sponsor.
An in-season voting tournament.
Yes. Voting brought to you by, Chando's Tacos or whatever. I don't know. Sponsor it. Hell.
Yeah. That might be illegal.
Sponsoring voting. Hey, you vote, you get a free taco.
Yeah.
Screw it. It doesn't have to be a Republican or a Democrat taco. It could be an independent taco.
Tex-Mex?
Yes.
That's a Republican taco.
Question 3.
Question 3.
If Aaron Rodgers were to return this year, would the Jets be a legit postseason threat?
Would they be a postseason threat to go to the Super Bowl and win the whole thing? I don't think so. Could I see the Jets with Aaron Rodgers knocking off a Raven or a Chief? Maybe a Bill? A Dolphin? Yeah, I could see. Look, this is a solid defense. Breece Hall's great. Dalvin Cook spells him, and they seem to be working that out a little bit. Their young receiver Wilson's one of the best. He's honestly one of the best young wide receivers in the game. Now, Jason, I was a little surprised because the Jets know what's going on the interior.
Yeah.
Right. If Aaron Rodgers is really getting close to coming back, then if I'm Woody Johnson and the GM out there in New York, then at the trade deadline, I'm beefing up that offensive line because you and I both know you can add all the defense and offense you want, but if they're not protecting old Mr. Achilles Rodgers, it doesn't matter because he's just going to be flat on his back again. So that's that. But could they win a playoff game? Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see him coming back. I know there's some optimism, and let's just take him for his word a couple of fortnights, right? That's 6. Let's give him 6 weeks. That's really at the very back end of the season, and I'm sure he'll be throwing. I'm sure he'll look better. He'll be mobile. Are the Jets really going to do that? Are they really going to risk? I don't know how much career he has left, but still, that just seems way too risky. And then if you just look at the chessboard, the pieces here, the entire AFC North is in the playoffs right now. A team that's ahead of the Jets that's not even in the playoffs is Buffalo. Like, I'm going to trust them to get it right, or the Chargers, or someone else more so than even the Jets.
No, I agree with you.
I don't even think they're going to be in the picture.
Debate going on in the YouTube chat as to what a Republican and Democrat taco was. The Republican ones would be the tacos you get in it. There'd be the caucasity is what they're pointing out for the Republican taco versus the liberal taco would be a vegan pita bread and bean taco. I actually think it's a fun rabbit hole to go down, and no one's going to get offended. So we'll take a break. But keep it up on the YouTube chat. It's entertaining. When we come back, I missed it yesterday. Overreaction Wednesday. Did you guys overreact yesterday?
We were totally right reacting.
The Kings lost.
Yeah.
Overreaction Wednesday. Jason and I will throw out overreactions based on the NFL weekend. And you know what? You want to throw some NBA in there? That's fine too. You can throw anything in there. You can throw the Pistola in there. I don't care. By the way, you pretty much knocked that thing out. Atta kid. Look at you. You feel good. It's good to feed people. We'll be right back after this.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out nice and cool. Expect temperatures this morning down into the 40s as we head through the afternoon. Bright and breezy out there. Temps in the upper 60s to low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Players know it's not just because you win more. It's because of everything else at Gold Country Casino Resort, where players roll in and winners are made. Winning isn't the only thing on the menu, and nightlife, it's more than entertaining. Drinks and dining options are abundant and guaranteed to satisfy your innermost desires. Come be our guests and see why Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville is where the players play.
Guys, your promise is your word, right? You stick by it, you live by it. So does Revive Men's Health with our Revive Promise for low T and ED. The Revive Promise means your tests and lab work are free when you begin treatment, and our low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Yes, that's right. We stand behind our treatments and our results. That's our promise to you. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men with low T, ED, and sexual health issues since 2011. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic low energy, less drive, sleep issues, weight gain, poor performance, bad moods, or ED, you need Revive. Don't settle. Get affordable, guaranteed, custom low T and ED solutions with lasting results from Sacramento's favorite men's clinic. And remember, there are no extra bills when you begin treatment. All labs and tests are free, and your low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento today to schedule your appointment. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Kris with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight after an awful trip to Houston. Kings will be without their all-star guard, De'Aaron Fox, who is still dealing with a sprained ankle that he suffered against Los Angeles Lakers. You can listen to tonight's game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. College football playoff rankings were revealed yesterday, and the teams remain unchanged. Ohio State is the number 1 team in the country, followed by Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State to make up the college football top 4. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Pet Instagrams, yeah or nay?
Depends.
I follow like a couple of Frenchie Instagrams, I'm not going to lie. And I watch their little videos.
Is it like the certain one, or is it just a general?
No, there's a couple of like bigger ones that they do really well with content where like, they'll like do different voiceovers and it's well done.
Oh, you've heard my voiceover, Jason.
I have.
Do I even want to?
I don't think it would be safer on the air.
Yeah.
The problem is that when you go down that road, that is a very addictive thing. Like we're gonna have Katie on at 8 a.m. and Katie has now fully thrown herself into the addiction of TikTok and Instagram videos where she just sits there and just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. And I find that our text threads have now become a lot of,
did you see this?
Yeah. Did you see this? Wow. This is like what we were talking about the other day. This reminds me of your kid or, whatever. It's, next thing is to be sending me memes at 6 a.m. and you have to do the thumbs up, like, so you acknowledged it, and it's or LOL. I hate
more time on your phone.
I got to cut my phone time down. That was the other thing the doctor said yesterday, your screen time. He said you spend all your time looking at TV screens and your phone screen. He said how much he made me, this is a smart doctor, he made me go through at the hospital. He made me go through the screen time on my phone. He knew how to find it too, which I didn't know how to bring it up necessarily. I don't think I ever wanted to. You know what my screen time was on my phone last week?
Ooh, I'm going to last week.
Mm-hmm. Typical week, by the way.
I'm going to say,
because I could see the last couple months and it wasn't atypical.
8 hours.
Just
8 hours? No, I'm going to say 44 hours.
No, in a day.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
That's pretty good. 9. Let's go above.
9 hours and 17 minutes on average per day.
It also breaks down what you're looking at.
Sure does.
How much was the slot machines?
Sure does. About 4 hours a day. To be fair, we'll move on here. To be fair, probably about 3 of those 4 hours are just I put it on automatic spin and just listen to it.
That's totally fair.
No, but I'm not sitting there going. I put it on automatic spin. I have the
and you're over here going.
Right, so I'm doing something else, and then if a big jackpot hits, I go, "Oh, this is great!" Yeah, and then I go back to it's it doesn't count.
That's a respectable jab.
Overreaction Wednesday, brought to you by nobody. If you want to sponsor Overreaction Wednesday, hey, 923-6800.
Normally it's Tuesday.
Yeah, normally it is Tuesday. Special edition, a very special edition. This is the Ricky Shot the Buck edition of Overreaction Wednesday. Find us a bet if you would.
There's no way Kris could have that ready.
What? You know what? I'll accept
acceptable.
It.
Yeah.
With the firing of Josh McDaniels, not only are the Raiders back, the Raiders are a legit contender to make the playoffs.
overreaction.
What?
Too far.
What?
I feel like that was the perfect weekend for them. Right team to play to, by the way. Giants are a mess. But the Raiders took care of them. It was great. They feel good. They look good. He's saying the right things. I think maybe more of the Raiders are back, or the Raiders' image, mentality, kind of feel about them, but the playoff part now.
They are 4-5 right now.
Yeah.
At best. I mean, I'm giving them everything. At best, I've got another 5 wins for them. Okay. And I'm giving them, like...
9's not going to be enough.
No, 9's not going to be enough. 8 is enough.
Yes.
But 9, thank you, Chris. 9 is not going to be enough. All right, overreaction Wednesday, Jason.
Okay. The 49ers are still just the second best team in the NFC.
You mean as opposed to like the 4th or 5th best, right?
Well, put them or first or at best. Let's do it that way. At best, the 49ers are the second best team in the NFC.
That is not an overreaction. I can't put them at the best. That's Philly.
Okay.
That's Philly. Philly is 8-1. Philly, the Niners' signature win is the Cowboys. Philly did the same thing. Now, you could argue the Niners blew the Cowboys out even more, but to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ, and they'll have an opportunity to do that in Philadelphia in a couple of weeks. But until then, I can't look at 8-1 versus 5-3. Now, you have Detroit with a better record. You have Seattle with the same record. You have the Cowboys with the same record. I don't see another team in the NFC that I'm confident saying is better than the 49ers that we think they are. Now, if it's the 49ers of the last 3 weeks, some sort of average of that, they're probably the 6th best team in the NFC. Chase Young is officially starting on Sunday. He's been in practice all week. I think like a lot of Niner fans, we are all cocked back like a slingshot, just ready to explode with this team. It is going to be an absolute madhouse of Niner fans in Jacksonville, I hope, this weekend. So, no, I don't think that's an overreaction, Chase. If Aaron Rodgers returns and the Jets are either in or within a game of the playoffs, let's say he returns with 2 games left, the Jets will be a playoff team.
All right. Well, I would say that's not an overreaction because, first off, I don't think that's happening. But under your parameters, yeah, he's going to give them a much better chance to win. I think he quickly, if somehow all of that happens, would be a difference maker for that team. I just don't think that other part will happen. But under your parameters, yes, it's not an overreaction.
Can I give you a bonus overreaction? Because I just thought of it, and it wasn't in my notes. Though he is not currently in the top 10 of NFL MVP odds makers, if you will, favorites, CJ Stroud should be in the top 10 favorites to win NFL MVP. By the way, Brock Purdy is 7th.
Where's McCaffrey?
McCaffrey, I don't think was in the top 10.
That's a shame. That's wrong. Stroud, sure. Not an overreaction. Top 10, back end of it? Yeah.
Back end of it?
Sure.
CJ Stroud, in case y'all were wondering, at 22 years old, has thrown for 2,270 yards, 14 touchdowns against just 1 interception, a rating of 103, QBR 62.2. But most importantly, Jason Ross, the Houston Texans are a 500 team.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
How about that? Overreaction Wednesday.
Caleb Williams, USC quarterback, is too emotional.
Overreaction. We're talking about being too emotional. I'm saying it's an overreaction being too emotional. I actually think the reactions to Caleb Williams crying are way too emotional. As we talked about with Dan Hawkins, and it just comes down to, look, not everybody speaks with one voice. But I would just bet you, because every athlete I've talked to, and I've talked to a few about this, every athlete I've spoken to, football, basketball, and a baseball guy, because this has been on my mind all week. to a person. They go, it sure, it depends on context. You know, if a guy is crying in the locker room because he didn't get his way or something, if it's a tantrum cry, that's a different thing. But if you're crying out because you left it all on the field and you came up short and you feel like you let your teammates down, your coaches down, your school or your team down, which is how I think most people interpreted that incident, if you will. That shows that you care. That shows that it goes beyond money, beyond ego, beyond any of that stuff. They said they're more likely to latch on to him. Plus this idea, again, the philosophical idea that crying is somehow a form of weakness. Dude, don't hold it in, man. Right. There are way too many people that have manifestos attached to their Wikipedia entry that hold it in too much, that thought crying was a weakness.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think that was an overreaction?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, well, an overreaction to his.
Yeah,
that part. Yeah. I think, look, we've kind of done both sides of that. Would you feel better if he's laughing in the stands?
Right.
Then he get ripped for that. I mean, the one thing I've heard some people say, well, if you just cry behind the scene, like, okay, now we're picking where. So is the fact that we saw it? Well, the camera, he didn't do it on. Hey, camera,
right.
Put it on me. It's how he felt. I think it was authentic. I think it showed that he did care. It wouldn't. If I was team 2, 3, or 4 in the NFL and team 1 was concerned about that's drafting, I'd be like, thank you, because we'll gladly take it.
Final overreaction Wednesday. With losses to the Bills, the Eagles, and the Chiefs, and absolutely 0 wins against a team 500 or above, the Dolphins are kind of a fraud.
That's an overreaction.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Their wins have come against the Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Giants, Panthers, and Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this weekend's kind of an interesting test for the Dolphins because you have a Raiders team, which is a game below 500, so they're right there. They're not terrible. They're not great, but they also have that momentum going.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how the Dolphins react to that. And then they go to the Jets, Commanders, home Titans, Jets, and then Cowboys.
Well, they have the bye first. The
Ravens, Bills. Excuse me, you're correct. And then they have the bye leading into that. So very curious to see how that goes for them. We'll take a break. When we come back, I want everybody to be like super mature because this conversation has been floating around for like 3 weeks and I've avoided it like the absolute plague. But there seems to be growing conversation about how would, for example, the Las Vegas Aces do against a college team or in some cases a high school team. Let's try to have a mature conversation, not necessarily about the result, but why this is a conversation in the first place. I know it's asking for too much, but can please everybody just be mature and be like normal people. We're just going to have a quick conversation about it. We'll do that next.
The Sacramento Kings playing here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep, switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own lawn report.
Carmichael Dave. He's got very good sources and he just kind of tells it every day to get to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
We live in a highly charged atmosphere these days. Makes it difficult to have nuanced conversations.
Shut up.
and so, of course, you know, we have a choice where we can talk about things or not talk about them and avoid them like the plague. Now, the smart thing to do is to avoid anything at all controversial like the plague, because as my dad always says, the higher you stick your head up, the easier it is to get clipped by the lawnmower. I don't know what that means, but
he always says that.
Always, all the time.
Sounds clean.
Sounds just. Exactly.
I've heard that so many times.
I knew it was coming. So, there's a noted journalist, talk show host, whatever. Not a fan. Who put out $1 million bet that the world champion Las Vegas Aces, if they played a top nationally ranked high school team, I think he actually
wasn't it of his choice.
Of his choice, yeah, like from California or
wherever,
wherever. That the Aces would lose a game to a top high school boys team. Now, look. I think a lot of people have had the thought like, wow, I wonder how a WNBA team would do against XYZ PDQ, college team, high school, whatever. You know, this goes back forever. Billie Jean King, Bobby Riggs, Battle of the South, all that stuff. But I wasn't around during the Billie Jean King Riggs thing, but I feel like it was a little more like fun. Like, oh, this would be kind of cool to see, like tennis match and raise some money for charity or whatever. And now it just seems like it's devolved into misogyny and girls suck and boys are stupid and blah, blah. And there's two ways. It's been going on now for weeks, and it's become this growing debate. And it's like, okay, let's put it on the calendar here. My first inclination is to X's and O's the thing. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do that because there's no win there. I don't know what the win would be. Do I believe that scientifically because I actually looked at Monteverde, one of the big high school, maybe the biggest high school, tons of pros come from Monteverde down south. And I'm looking at their starting lines of like 6'11", 6'10", 6'7", 6'7", 6'4", right? And I'm thinking, okay, height, weight, strength, jumping, athletically, it's a contest for sure. If it maybe. But then I start, and I'm just trying to be a little, I don't know, lack of a better term here is, Jason, but I start to be a little vulnerable here. I'm trying to be a little vulnerable in the sense that I found my mind going from instinctively trying to break it down X's and O's, Y's to going, what? But why are we having this conversation? Right. Why can't it just be that? Why can't I say, I don't watch a lot of WNBA? I don't. But I have all the respect. My best friend in the entire world for the last decade was a WNBA player. The story she's told me, and not the glamour stories of, oh yeah, I played with this one girl and I went on this trip, and no, it's like the struggle and the way things are different as opposed to the NBA, and not a good way, and just how bad you have to want it, and you're not getting rich unless you're the top of the 1%, and it's for the love, truly for the love of the game, and you're trying to make a living, but it's different. Like I don't have a problem, though I feel the need to like throw my non-misogynistic credentials out there, but I truly love and respect the sport, the women that play it, and most importantly, the garbage they have to go through. Admittedly, sure, it's curiosity. Be curious. But Jason, I found myself thinking more and more, let's say 2 weeks from today, Las Vegas Aces versus whatever high school or college team. I don't know. What's the win?
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
That's it.
What's the point?
Yeah, I'm interested in why too, like why this came up. To me, it reminds me of a classic like sports bar talk show debate, even one that's way more popular. Let's say LeBron versus Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have an opinion. I have an opinion. One thing what we can't do is prove it, right? But you're going to back up what you think and tell me why Jordan's better. I'm going to tell you why, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what side we're taking. So the other part is, could you prove this? Sure, you could play, but I mean, let's take every scenario. The WNBA team wins, close. The WNBA team blows them out. The high school team or college team wins, close. They blow them out. Mm-hmm. One time, like, what happened there? Was it one game? Did that prove? Does that the end all? That's always the answer. That's what's always going to happen. No, like I don't even get why it matters. Why it's even a conversation.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, for real, I would be rooting my ass off for the girls.
Oh, I think they would. I personally think they would win
because I
comfortably.
I don't.
You don't.
I would bet against if I had to. I would bet against it.
Now, I think what needs to be defined here. Are you thinking that like the talk show host? It's a high school team. I don't.
No, I don't. I was thinking college, but it's. Okay. I don't want to go down this road.
But it doesn't matter that we even differ on that.
Right. It doesn't. I think in terms of height, weight, strength, verticality, it's just from a purely scientific point of view. There is no doubt to me, and this is the only place that I'm actually that piques my curiosity. The only part of that piques my curiosity is that there is. I know the stereotype is, well, the WNBA, it's all about fundamentals, but like legit, they've got it all down. By the way, they're also incredibly athletic.
Exactly.
But the fundamentals of the game, which by the way actually counts, the plays they run, the spacing, the screening, the dominant on the side of the WNBA team. Doesn't have to be the Aces, but we're taking the Aces here, who also happen to be insane athletes and tremendous shooters. Does pure size and strength trump fundamentals, skill, and athleticism?
No.
And that's the thing. And I don't know. But I would be rooting so hard for the women's team, because for me, I think if that were to happen, well, of course, the ding-dongs and the lifted trucks would say, well, let's have them play an NBA team. But I think in that case, I do think if you aren't into the WNBA, I'm not into the NHL. Doesn't mean I think hockey's stupid. If you're not into it, you're not into it. That's fine. But I think there's a difference between being not watching all the games and not respecting the game and not respecting the athletes and not recognizing that the league is making real growth. And look, I've done and talked about the studies over the years. We all know that the NBA was subsidizing the WNBA. We understand the finances here. Nobody's wearing a blindfold. But the TV contracts are increasing. The revenue has been increasing. The attendance has been increasing. The ratings have been increasing. So to sit here and say that the WNBA is a neutral and non-growth sport at this point, you're just not paying attention to the mathematics. If you want to respond to that by saying, well, the ESPN's throwing it in our face. Well, why are they doing that? Because they're woke. Yeah, but go ahead and say that all you want, woke, woke, woke. You still have to appease your shareholders. You still have to fill programming with you mean woke all you want. You still have to fulfill that bottom line, and you're not dedicating that space on ESPN.com. You're not giving up those prime slots if you're not putting something in there that's going to attract ratings, viewers, and sponsors.
Right, and they've had success with the WNBA and with women's college basketball.
So I don't think it's so much this conversation, just to wrap up, I don't think it's as much. I think there's a 15%, maybe, I'm just guessing, that actually were like, I wonder who'd win. I think the other 85%, it's more about the noise you make online, the clicks you get, and really just trying to find a way, like you take something that these women are doing that is, I don't even want to say admirable because that sounds condescending. That's just awesome and good and growing. And it's just a way for some guys that are insecure to crap on it. And when you look at most of the people having this conversation online, they let's just say they do fit the stereotype. So anyways, I acknowledge that is an interesting sports question, but I think it's also important to acknowledge there's a lot beneath that sports question.
Can I also add something?
Yeah, please.
Is if they were to lose, why would it matter?
Yeah, what does that prove?
It's still an entertaining sport.
What point did you make? Not you, but what point did you make by the Aces go up against Kentucky and lose by 20? Again, I'm not saying that's the result. I'm saying let's say that's the result. Okay. Next. Like what did we learn there?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, the WNBA finals were fantastic.
Yeah.
But now I feel cheated because they lost. Like, what are you talking about?
And let me tell you something. Every year we watch. Can we all agree that college basketball? Let's just a couple of absolutes. Can we at least agree that WNBA teams will lose to NBA teams? Like, we can agree on that, right? I think. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's that point?
No. Follow me here. Can we also agree that college basketball teams would lose to NBA teams?
Yeah.
Okay. Without a doubt, right? God, I love March Madness. Boy, I love who wins the championship. Right. The fact that I'm sitting there thinking, well, Baylor couldn't beat the Kings. I don't find myself thinking that while watching March Madness. It's a different thing. It's a different type of the sport. It's a different category. Imagine people saying, well, Duke won, but they'd lose to the Timberwolves. Look at them like they were the dumbest person on earth. That's kind of where I fall there. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Katie Christensen, former WNBA player and current Kings TV analyst, she'll join us next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
We believe craftsmanship separates the real cowboy boots from all the others. The boot artisans at Dan Post handcraft their boots with the highest standards, using the best materials and a mastery of the craft. Since 1965, Dan Post has stood as a beacon of quality that supports a proud Western heritage. With every step, their boots echo the tenacity of the West. Find them at Boot Barn.
Kings basketball is back. Coming off an exhilarating playoff run last season, you don't want to miss seeing this team in action. Be there when De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, new addition Sasha Vezenkov, and the Beam Team take the court at Golden One Center. Plus, catch the all-new NBA in-season tournament games against the Thunder on November 10th and the Warriors on November 28th. Tickets for games this season start at just $18. So head to kings.com/tickets, and together, let's bring the roar.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's going on at Hoblet this month, Chad?
We're celebrating the Black Friday sales event all month long, which means you're saving big with up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payments for 90 days. That means you get your new truck with no payments until 2024. And we have new Rams starting under $30,000.
That's probably why you're the number one Ram truck dealer in California and number 3 in the nation.
Well, that, and because we also have huge savings on heavy duties too, with up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 heavy-duty crew cabs. That means you can get the brand-new heavy-duty truck you need starting at $45,995 and no payments until next year.
Well, there you go. Get your new truck now at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center or search Select and Save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$15,000 total net savings on $1,500 after $11,000 factory rebates and $4,000 dealer discount. 5 of this net savings. Under $30,000 VIN number 527379. $15,000 total net savings on $2,500 after $10,000 factory rebates and $5,000 dealer discount. 5 of this net savings. $45,995 VIN 502146. Rebates include $1,000 case construction bonus cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. No payments for 90 days through Chrysler Capital.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, your testosterone level can impact your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Book your testosterone level check at Revive Men's Health, Sacramento. They're the local experts with guaranteed treatment for low T and ED. There are no lab fees, and all your tests are included when you start treatment. And many patients find Revive more affordable than their insurance deductibles and copays. Book your testosterone level check today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Kris with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight after an awful trip to Houston. The Kings will still be without their all-star guard, De'Aaron Fox, who's still dealing with the sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's games, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. That's your headline. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-11.
paper on the roll and not just put it on the ground next to the toilet.
Oh, for you to do it?
While I counted yesterday, 3 cardboard toilet paper rolls that have been spent, 2 on the ground and 1 on the roller itself. And then how we have a wastebasket right there. How hard is it to take it and throw it away and replace it? My kids do. I can't just blame her. The kids do the same thing. But I blame her because it's a pet peeve of mine. So where else did they learn it, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe you ripped my wife like that. Joining us right now on the program, the one, the only, and I'm sure she replaces the paper on the roll all the time, TV analyst for your Sacramento Kings, Katie Christensen. Good morning, KT.
Good morning. Is there a reason you told the story about the toilet paper before talking to a woman?
No.
What?
No.
You would never do that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Although I did, I will say, to be fair, it would be kind of irresponsible of me to not lead in with you. I was explaining in the last segment, we finally, after putting it off forever, and probably should have put it off even longer, the growing chorus of whatever that, the Las Vegas Aces what would happen if they played a high school team? What would happen if they played a college team? What would happen if they played an NBA team? So we finally dealt with it, but more in the case of less in the case of, should I say, of X's and O's, well, who would win? And more about, I think the analogy I used towards the end was something like, I think we can all agree that the men's college basketball champion would not beat an NBA team. We know that. We know that. But I don't find myself watching the Final Four, March Madness, or anything like that going, I can't really enjoy it that much because they're not the NBA. And I know that's a sloppy analogy, but we were trying to come up with really why this is a conversation and why the WNBA can't be the WNBA and the NBA can't be the NBA. And I said my best friend for the last decade's a stinking WNBA player. And I didn't tell specifics, but the stories you've told me before, not of, I got to play with her or her, but the struggle, the things you guys went through, all the crap, has always given me this undying love and respect for the sport and the women that play it. But it's just a weird conversation.
That's an understatement. Why do you think it's weird for you? I don't know. You're talking about homeboy that went on and said that a high school boys team could.
Yeah, we didn't even say his name,
Aces.
But more people are starting to get involved in the conversation.
What's interesting is I saw that when it came out, and it made me angry initially, and then I'm like, oh, he's just a complete freaking idiot. And here's the thing is I think sometimes people need to say something controversial so that someone's talking about them. And I feel like he kind of fits into that category. But, from the perspective of someone that played in the WNBA, I think that we're all very aware that there's probably a pretty significant piece of the male sports viewing population that may think that. But at the same time, it's what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to make it happen so that you can either prove them right or prove them wrong? It just comes down to someone that, and there's way too many of these people in the world that something good happens in women's sports, and what a certain population of men need to do is they need to show just, what complete morons and chauvinistic pigs they are, and they need someone to be talking about them. And it's what? To me, it's kind of a tired argument. Because I think all it's trying to do is to take away something great from a women's sports team that have had 2 consecutive seasons of just domination. They've got, one of the best female coaches around, obviously coached in the NBA, Becky Hammond. Also need to take a little bit. It's you got to be put in your place. Oh, by the way, you guys are still women. So just a yearly reminder that you guys are women, and there are still men that do not respect what you do, and we're never going to change their mind. I feel really bad for the women in their life.
Yeah, I mean, that's well said, Katie, because I think there have been men's minds that have been changed, and those that haven't won't. And that's But I think that's the same. Like, there's people that I don't watch the NBA because of this. I don't watch the NFL because of this. I think everybody has their reason, but there's plenty of people that do watch it and enjoy it. So let them be and enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah, no, it's just, I think it's people that are searching for relevancy, and in doing so, they have to demean really an entire, population of female athletes.
Is there a way to have the conversation about the X and O's without it being demeaning, in your opinion? I mean, I'm asking you, is there scientifically a way to have is there somebody out there that is equipped to have the conversation without it being demeaning, in your opinion?
I mean, possibly. I guess for me, it's like, I don't think you're going to find any women that are going to say, there's no way that this is, of course they're going to beat the women, of course, because women are not equal to men. They're not the same type of athletes. They don't have the physical strength of men. Like, you're going to find people that are going to make that argument for sure. But I don't understand. I guess I just don't understand what the relevance.
What's the win? What's the point? What's
like what's the point? Like, why are we doing it? We're never going to convince everybody. The only way for it to ever happen is for that theoretical game to take place, and the women would have to win. And then it's like, in theory, it would put that argument to bed. But you know what? I know that it wouldn't.
No.
There would be some kind of an excuse. Well, they just had a bad day.
Right. Let's see them play an NBA team.
Fair.
That's what we were talking
about.
Yeah,
exactly. It's never going to end. So, I understand from a radio perspective, you guys having done the job, in the past, and I understand from a sports media perception that you kind of got to talk about things. But at the same time, it's like, when are they going to not have, when are we just going to stop having the conversation?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the win here?
It's a great point. Katie, I would have rather watched the Aces and Liberty, I think, than the Kings and Rockets the last two nights. And I think the biggest center, and you were there, obviously, for both, was the second one. I mean, the first one can happen, will likely happen again as far as a clunker. But to back it up with the same team in the same city while you were stewing on that previous loss, honestly shocked me. What, in your best view, what happened in Houston to the Kings?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, it just, first, I want to give credit to Houston. I don't want, listen, the Kings are a team that did so well last year, and now all these eyes are on them, and they have 2 consecutive games without De'Aaron Fox, where, quite honestly, they just got their, butts handed to them, like, legitimately by a young team, with a coach that, after being suspended for an entire NBA season and going through what he did, like, their focus really is on trying to gain some respect around the league, and they deserve it. That is a good team. It's got some really talented young players on it, and some really, significantly talented veterans that can make a big difference for them. And they're playing defense, and offensively, they're way more disciplined. And like, watching their games going into it, I was like, oh dear, this is not going to be an easy game. I think the first game was more of a thing of where, they played incredibly well without De'Aaron Fox against Golden State. They lost by 1 point on the road. But it's easy to get up for games like Golden State. I just think that there was a lack of respect for their opponent in game 1. And game 2, I'm still mystified about. I was so shocked in how they came out and how they continued to struggle defensively, particularly. I mean, I think that was the biggest problem for them. Offensively, this team, even without De'Aaron, I think they can always find a way to score. Yes, Keegan has really been struggling with the streak. Kevin Huerter played better. It seems like he's starting to come around a little bit, but it was just stunning how bad they were in game 2. I mean, even worse than game 1, they got down by 40 points. So I think, it's one of those things where I think I said it on the air, you guys, I would prefer for them to have to face this type of adversity early in the season so that it opens their eyes to the fact that this is an NBA where the parity is so ridiculous. Any night, and I know we say this all the time, any night, any given NBA team can beat another, but this is like the most true statement, now than it was ever in the past. So I think that when you look at kind of how they played, there's a huge level of disappointment and shock to a certain degree, but I'm glad that they kind of got it handed to them, because it's an eye-opening experience early in the season to realize that they have to take every team seriously. They cannot go in thinking that they are better regardless. Katie Christensen, TV analyst for the Kings, and she was on with our own Kyle Draper during that game. And I want to stand with Katie here in a second, because as somebody who's never professionally broadcast, well, I guess I was an analyst for the Republic for 3 years, so yeah, I'm part of the family. But like, here's the thing: when you're doing play-by-play or you're analyzing the game, like, you can only go so far. And I felt like in watching the game Saturday, like, I felt really bad for you guys, not in the sense that, like, I know you love your jobs and blah blah blah, but like, no matter what you say, it's going to sound dumb at some point, and dumb in the sense that, like, well, they're getting their asses kicked. Well, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's nothing, if you try to break it down in like a way where you try to help understand what's happening, you're a shill and you're being too soft on them. But if you go the other way and you hammer them and, like, I'm just not seeing much heart on this team, or these guys are really, they're not showing the heart and the passion that I expect. Now all of a sudden, why are you even on the broadcasts? Because you obviously are a Rockets fan. Where did that broadcast rank, Katie? Because you've been in broadcasting for 30 plus years. Where did that broadcast rank as far as toughest broadcasts you've ever done? That was by hands the toughest game I've ever called.
Wow.
And not even just called, right? It's the toughest game I've ever been a part since I joined the Kings. And listen, we went through a lot of bad years since I got here in the 06-07 season. As everyone listening knows, we have been through some bad years. The reason this game was the hardest game to call and the hardest game to be a part is because this team is so much better than that. And in the past, it's like, you know what? The talent level wasn't there. The roster wasn't there. They were not up to par, if you will. And that is not the case anymore. So it's hard because you kind of walk a fine line, you guys, and Jason, you understand this too, of like, you need to point out what's going wrong, but when it's the same thing over and over again, you feel like you're piling on. But if you're not being honest during the broadcast, you never want to come across as like the lady wearing the purple goggles, you know? Yeah. You don't want to be the one making excuses, but and as the former player in me is, I never want to blame or attack players and say, well, this is his fault. Look what he did. And so it's a fine line that you walk to kind of call the game for what it is, but also not force people into a panic either, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, as somebody who, grew up playing soccer and was an analyst for 3 years for the Republic, I feel the same way. Like, you don't want to, athletes like us, we don't want to blame the players because we know what it was like.
Dave.
What? Back when
I was sitting there thinking during that broadcast, honestly, I don't recall ever in my playing career at any level of being a part of a game like that as a player, because I was trying to think, okay, have I been in this position before, and what did it feel like? Now, like my first year in Phoenix, we were not a great team. We were like, bottom of the barrel in the WNBA, but like we lost games by, less than 10 points. We fought and we battled and we were in games, and there was never a game to me that I can recall where it's just like, you just got embarrassed. Like you got, 30, 40 point embarrassed. Like I don't ever in the history of my career being a part of a game where I was down to that degree. So I was trying to relate. I was trying to remember, and I'm like, gosh, I can't relate to this one, but I can relate to not playing well when your team is underperforming and it just seems like everything is going wrong. Right. And the mentality as a player to like, you have to, and the coaching staff, they're going to look at that stuff, but there's a fine line between looking at it and kind of kind of ripping confidence from people. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
So it's an interesting line they have to walk going into this game against Portland today.
And honestly, when maybe it just came down to a lack of energy from the Kings, and Katie, I'll tell you, when you're needing energy, you go to the people I tell you to go to. That's American Energy Heating and Air. Stick around with us, Katie, as we'll continue the interview right after this. I do have to stop in and ask, Katie, when was the last time you had your hold on. When was the last time you had an inspection of your air conditioning and heating unit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a minute. I mean, mine was brand new when I moved into this house. So haven't been here 2 years. It's probably time, Dave.
Yeah, it is probably time, Katie. With the young one at home, those filters, after they're filtering out all the smoke and pollens and all that, they get filled up, and that's how you get the sneezes. And being that you and your entire family are constantly sick, maybe it's time to call up American Energy and get yourself the $49 tune-up going on right now. They will check out everything. They'll make sure that you're all set up, good to go, and that everything is working in proper order. Now, winter is coming up, and Katie grew up in a tiny little northeastern corner of California where they have real winters, but let's be honest, it gets nipply a little bit around here, and we all want to deal with that and be warm and comfortable. So you want to deal with a company that you've been dealing with since 1981, since Katie was in college. A+ Better Business Bureau, and so much more. So give them a call at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. And I'll text you this after the show, Katie. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Thank you. So, Katie, you get all that?
I did.
Okay.
Yes. College in the 80s.
Which got you more, college in the 80s, or you and your family are always sick?
I come on here just to be abused by you weekly.
Did you wash your handkerchiefs yet?
I did. I have like 15 of them to wash.
Yeah. We talked about it takes 15 bandanas on the road and just fills them up. Jason, I believe the question's yours, friend.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, Katie, now it's about moving forward, right? I mean, those were brutal games. There's no way around it. You said it. We saw it. We described it. Tonight, to me, feels like it's nothing about Portland. It's all about the Kings and their house. How do you feel about just the Kings' approach to this evening against the Blazers?
Yeah, from a mentality standpoint, it does have to be about them, and it has to be about how they come out. And I'm glad that they're home at Golden One Center for a few games before they go back on the road for, like 10, 11 days, something crazy like that. Because they kind of need, sometimes how, when something goes wrong with your kid, they don't need you to, break it down to them, Dave. They just need you to give them a hug and support them. I feel like that's where the Kings are right now. They need like Golden One Center to give them a hug.
They just want to vent.
And yeah, just have the opportunity to go out there and feel the love from their home fans as they're trying to work through some stuff. I'm going to be completely honest. Portland is a good team, you guys. I don't know how much you watched of them. Obviously, they have a couple of serious injuries now at this point. With Anthony Simons is out after having surgery on his hand. He obviously is a key piece for them. Robert Williams, who came over in that trade from Boston, he injured himself in that series against Memphis, and so he's out. But they added a ton of really capable, experienced veterans to their squad, like Malcolm Brogdon. Like, they have some really talented guys out there, and it looks like a much different team than they did a year ago. And so this is not going to be an easy game at all. And it kind of has the trappings of the Houston series, in the sense that this is a team that kind of picked bottom of the barrel in the Western Conference. Like, you have to come out and show the ultimate respect for this team, because if you don't, and you don't prep well, you don't fix the things like, blow by dribble drives into the lane, those types of things, like, you're going to get beat again. So, this is a great team, and I have faith in the Kings. And really, it's about a learning experience to see how they respond to this. So I'm kind of excited to see how they come out and start the game today.
Okay, so just to wrap up here, you're saying the Kings, much like when you or Melissa, I've learned this over the years, have going through something. Maybe you just want to vent. You don't want solutions thrown at you. You just want love and support and a hug, not not solution oriented, and to tell you what to do. That's kind of where we're at with the team. Give them a big hug.
I was more relating it to when Avery comes to her dad, but yes, very, very similar to that.
Avery comes to her dad, I say, Groozer.
Oh my gosh.
What, is that wrong?
I feel for your children.
By the way, you love my children. By the way,
I do.
I brought in, I made a pozole 2 days ago, and I brought some in for Jason and Kris Verlade, and I accentuated it with the jalapenos from your garden. So I want you to know.
Kris told me when I called in, he's like, wow, I had some of those jalapenos from your garden. They were amazing.
Yeah, they're good. They're good jalapenos. Right, Jason? Yeah.
I stayed away from, I was scared.
They're better going in, Katie, I'll tell you that much. All right, dear. Have a great call tonight. Thank you so much, as always, for being smart and schooling us on everything. And hopefully we get a win tonight. And tonight's game is as tough as Saturday's was to call. I hope it's as easy tonight.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys from the road next week then.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Katie Christensen. And, that's the thing. When she does these games, too, she is prepping. Like, I'll call her up when the show's over at like 11 a.m. and she's got her little teacher glasses on and she's got like her boards
her
and
charts and everything.
She's not going into these games, just in case you wondered, winging it or anything, much like they would at Fire Wings, for example, where today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, stupid. Wednesday. Thank you. 88 cents. 88 cents a wang. 88 cents a wing. And right now, Florin Road, the Fire Wings location on Florin Road, they now serve pizza. So what's the new slogan we have for them? Trust the process. Basketball, football, wings, sports, perfect pair. You don't need to know that. 3-flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. That's 21. That's 3 touchdowns and 3 extra points. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the whole entire family. No, by the way, they've got the garlic noodles, the Nashville hot fire chicken sandwich, the seasoned fries. They'll cook tonight. Let's see if we can't get a big win tonight and order right now. Go to firewings.com. Find the location nearest you and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Make your order online. You can pick it up whenever you want. Fire Wings. Just wing it. When we come back, 4 down territory, and we will start with Max Crosby of the Raiders. Should he be getting a trophy at the end of the season? We'll do all that next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at SacWaterWise.com.
Your defending Big Sky champion Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday afternoon against the Cal Poly Mustangs. It's Military Appreciation Day at Hornet Stadium as we honor our local heroes. And don't miss the pregame flyover as kickoff is set for 2 p.m. Let's pack Hornet Stadium for the final regular season home game of the year as the Hornets try for a 4th straight trip to the postseason. Don't miss any of the action or excitement of Hornet football. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install the new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door. Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at HornetSports.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Kris with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight after an awful trip to Houston. The Kings will be without their all-star guard, De'Aaron Fox, who is still dealing with a sprained ankle. You can listen to tonight's game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. College football playoff rankings were revealed yesterday, and the teams remain unchanged. Ohio State is the number 1 team in the country, followed by Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State to make up the college football top 4. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Kris, what did you say earlier? You said normalize not worrying about what people do when they're sick. Also, can we normalize when you come home and you have pets and there's nobody else there? Like having full-on like conversations and like singing songs to them? Because I have no way of knowing if other people do that because obviously you're alone. But when I get home and my dogs come and, they don't have any money. They don't have any currency. They can't clean the house.
The biggest scam. They totally do.
They just got this wad. They have their currency is their affection, their love, their excitement. Like they are just excited to see you, and nothing else matters. And I sing songs to them. I make up the lyrics as I go.
Oh wow,
they're silly,
Originals.
and stupid, and dumb. And sometimes I think, God, if there was if Big Brother's listening right now, and it ever gets out that I'm singing songs about Nacho Chewiner, she's the one, and you're my friend, Gus the bus, like whatever I'm doing. That was off the top of my head too.
Yeah.
Am I kind of a crazy person, or do more people do that?
Yes, but people also do that.
Yeah.
And they're crazy persons too. Okay.
And while you're gone, the dog's like, what songs are you going to sing today?
Well, I also wonder too if
they put their money on it.
Are the dogs sitting there like, dude, we understand you. You're an idiot. And we're excited because we think you're about to feed us.
Yeah, or pet us.
Yeah. So
Quit the singing.
Dispense the singing.
Yeah.
Less singing.
Get to it.
More foodie.
Yeah.
And Supreme Source Super Premium dog food. Bark, bark.
Bark, bark.
By the way, do you guys know superstar tight end Mark Andrews of the Ravens is a type 1 diabetic? I did not know this. And I was just, I'm not doing it. That's not a, you look at me like
I know, but the
I'm
most
not doing
random
a bit.
segue.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if I should have done that.
He's a type 1 diabetic. He's got to.
What made you think of that?
Oh, I read it I read it during the break. And
We went from singing dogs.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My mind is a weird place.
By the way, I had spaghetti for dinner. It's like, what?
He's got to wear it. He's got to come off and put the glucometer on and take insulin if he's and drink Gatorade. It's
Maybe he sings to his dogs.
Maybe he does. All right, 4 down territory right now.
That was 5th down.
That's what it was. I was thinking Mark Andrews going into football and stuff. I think he should look. Everybody can deal with their own stuff on their own. I'll never tell anybody how to deal with any sort of issue. I hope that if he's okay with it, that becomes more public and celebrated, because my goodness, what a cool story and motivation. My mom's diabetic. She struggled with it forever. I think Jake Cutler was diabetic. I think it's a cool story to see that somebody who's getting beat up every day like that is also having to take the needle for the insulin too. It's motivational, much like Chris Rolado is motivational. He gave my Pasole a solid B earlier, and
I think the jalapenos really helped that. I think he would have had B- C+ if there weren't jalapenos.
There's a lot about Katie's jalapenos.
Yeah, but still, you added them.
Well, I was going to cling on to that all day to stave away the depression, but now I'll try to figure something. Now there's Kings game today. There we go. 4 down territory question 1, please.
Las Vegas Raiders, Max Crosby leads the NFL in pressures and is second in sacks. Can he win the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year award?
Yeah, I think he's got to get a really good case for it. Listen, obviously Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, the ghost of Nick Bosa, but Max Crosby. And here's the other thing too. Look at Max Crosby's team and look at the positions the offense puts him in, and look at the lack of, for example, a guy like Bosa has all the help in the world on the line. A guy like Crosby, no offense, but it's not like he's dealing with the purple people eaters there on his line, which makes it even more impressive. And it's not just his numbers; it's just he is such a stud. He's such a stud in the locker room as well. He's a consummate leader. And by the way, speaking of inspiring stories, he's a hell of an inspiring story as well. If you know a little bit about his history, his background, I hope he does, and I think he's got about as good a case as anyone right now.
I think what might hurt his case is the two others you mentioned, Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, are in playoff teams right now. And the Raiders, I don't know, we kind of try to give them best case scenario, 7, 8, 9 wins. If they're not in the playoffs, it's harder to get recognized for that. Even if he has a great statistical year, I think it's going to be really difficult for him.
Second down.
Better chance to get to the Super Bowl, the Bengals or the Ravens?
I'm going to go Bengals. I'm very impressed with the Ravens and what they're doing. They're obviously well coached. I love Lamar Jackson. They've got a solid defense. They're just a solid team. The Bengals and Joe Burrow are elite. Jamar Chase is having some issues. He may miss this weekend. He's questionable. But not only are the Bengals solid at every position, but Joe Burrow has done it and been there. Yeah, he has yet to win the ring yet, but they're right there in or near the Super Bowl pretty much damn near every year of his career but one. So you got to beat the champ, be the champ, all that stuff. I think they're truly the Chiefs' biggest threat in the AFC.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really difficult for both. But right now, what have we seen from the Bengals? Wins over the Bills, wins over the 49ers. That's very impressive. But I don't want to diminish what Baltimore's done. Records a game better. Convincing win against Seattle.
Yeah.
They took out Detroit. I mean, these are other teams that maybe are on the second tier of being competitors in the NFL. But Baltimore's doing it kind of the old-fashioned way. Jackson's good. But they're running the ball well and defense. And that's kind of been a time-tested way to be good in the NFL, and not everybody does that anymore. but they are, and they're good at it. So I'll flip that one and go with the Ravens with a better chance.
Third down, please.
Which injured starting quarterback would make the biggest difference if they were healthy and starting for their team?
Okay, so am I feel like saying Aaron Rodgers is kind of cheating. No?
That's the answer.
Aaron Rodgers is 100% my answer. I at least want to have do a little challenge on this because I do think there are some other candidates other than Aaron Rodgers. Kyler Murray is now back on the active roster. You have a number of quarterbacks that are out that are possibly hurting their team by being out, that are not helping their team as some are. I'm going to go. I refuse to believe that Deshaun Watson is washed up. I really do. Maybe he is.
Yeah.
Maybe something's wrong, but
now he's finally back.
Yeah. And I think his return. Let's see what he's got, man, because he's got a team around him. And if Deshaun Watson can just become Deshaun Watson again, that Cleveland Browns team is going to be an incredibly tough out in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rodgers is the easiest choice, but I wonder still about Kirk Cousins. I mean, I know they won last week without him.
Undefeated without him.
Yeah, 1-0, but
Right.
they were starting to make a charge here, and he was having good statistics. Also, their best receiver has been out.
Yes.
I mean, for some time there. So, and Justin Jefferson. So I'll also throw in Kirk Cousins.
I do want to say I almost kind of weaned my way into an answer. You could really make an argument that it is Kyler Murray because the Cardinals are 1-8. And the question is, who would make the biggest difference? I don't think Kyler Murray is the best quarterback that's out, but the Cardinals are poo-poo without him. I think he's worth at least a couple of wins in these 9 games they've played. Fourth down.
Better chance of getting to the Super Bowl, the Lions or the Cowboys?
The tough part about this question is obviously we don't have playoff seeding, so I don't know which road each team has to go through, but just on spec, as far as just who's the better team with the better long-term prospects, I'm still going to go with the Cowboys. I respect the Lions, I do. The Cowboys are there every year, at least in this edition of the Cowboys, and they are incredibly solid at just about every position. And if they're not great, they're average to above average. They don't have glaring weaknesses to me other than their
inability to do it when they need to.
That's exactly right. The IQ goes into the tank in pressure situations. If they can somehow, I'm mad joking here. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'd bring in a couple of counselors, a sports psychologist, and sit down with these guys because I do feel a lot of it's mental. All respect to the Lions, and I'll root for them. But if I'm a betting man, I'd say the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys obviously have been there more. We've seen it. There may be more bites at the apple is the answer. Give them another chance, and maybe they break through. But, man, do they have a knack of falling short at the wrong time or making a bonehead play or doing something that keeps them from advancing. And it's weird to not pick Detroit because what they've done is great.
Sure.
We just haven't seen them in those moments enough. So I'm kind of with you on Dallas just because we've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Detroit too to have a breakthrough. That'd be fun.
I am too. I really am. I mean, how fun would we've talked about this before, like a Buffalo Detroit Super Bowl be? I love rooting for the underdog, and there's no bigger underdog in the NFL really than the freaking Detroit Lions. And maybe there's something to be said about, we always talk about the too dumb and young to know better. This edition of the Cowboys has been there, and they have choked a bunch of times. And maybe Detroit gets there and goes, we don't care, and we don't have that hanging crutch. It's all house money, I guess. Whereas for the Dallas Cowboys, it's all expectations. As we drive towards the Super Bowl, want to remind you, maybe you make that drive in a beautiful Hoblet vehicle. Yeah, hi. Carmichael Dave here, celebrating the Black Friday sales event all month long, which means you are saving big. With up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. No payments for 90 days. That means you can get your new truck today with no payments until 2024. And they've got new Rams starting at under, hold on a second. Let me wipe the screen. Is that new Rams starting under 30 grand? What I gotta double check that. Oh, no, it's right. New Rams starting under 30 grand. What? It's probably why they're the number one Ram truck dealer in California, number 3 in the entire U.S. of A. Not just the huge savings, but also the huge savings on heavy duties, too, with up to 15 grand off MSRP on the new 2023 Ram 2500 heavy duty crew cabs. That means you can get the brand new heavy duty truck you need starting at $45,995 and no payments until 2024. Get your new truck now, the Hoblet Ram Truck Center, or search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will demand answers from Kris Verlotta as to who's hot, who's not. Also, we'll do 3 in the key for tonight's Kings and Blazers game. And don't forget, Creed, take it to my hot little hand, ready for you. I can't do any sort of fun contest, but don't worry about it. We'll still get it to you, and we'll do that.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
ABC Tonight.
It's country music's biggest night.
The CMA Awards, live. With performances by Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, and Kay Michelle. Old Dominion with Megan Maroney. Carly Pierce featuring Chris Stapleton. Tanya Tucker with Little Big Town. And more.
The best in country music!
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host.
The CMA Awards live.
Tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC. And stream next day on
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. Despite being on their bye week, the 49ers had a good week 9, with all other NFC West teams losing. The red and gold sit at 5-3 currently, regaining a hold of the top spot in the division with Seattle's loss to Baltimore. The 49ers will look to rally in Week 10, heading to Jacksonville for a road clash with the AFC South leaders. And after adding former number 2 overall pick Chase Young at the trade deadline, the squad feels rejuvenated to make a run into 2024.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stone's learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you.
Guys, your promise is your word, right? You stick by it, you live by it. So does Revive Men's Health with our Revive Promise for low T and ED. The Revive Promise means your tests and lab work are free when you begin treatment, and our low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Yes, that's right. We stand behind our treatments and our results. That's our promise to you. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men with low T, ED, and sexual health issues since 2011. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic low energy, less drive, sleep issues, weight gain, poor performance, bad moods, or ED, you need Revive. Don't settle. Get affordable, guaranteed, custom low T and ED solutions with lasting results from Sacramento's favorite men's clinic. And remember, there are no extra bills when you begin treatment. All labs and tests are free, and your low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento today to schedule your appointment. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
I would say Erling Haaland, except everyone flips out whenever I mention anything about soccer.
What?
I would mention Erling Haaland, only one away from Kylian Mbappe as the youngest to get to 23. No, 40 goals.
Mbappe.
He would mention
that was a Hanson song.
It was.
Mbappe.
No.
No. Was me. No.
That's Poison.
Dang it.
Bop, bop. That's what you're thinking.
Oh,
no,
wait. Hold on. I'm such an idiot. That's a Poison song.
Well, Unskinny Bop.
That's
but
Poison.
If you're doing Bop.
Bop
is Hanson. You had that.
No, you're thinking of the VH1 video show.
Which
Pop-up video?
Pop-up videos.
You guys are smarter than me. All right, who's hot? That's not a soccer player.
That would be...
that would be nobody.
That would be... Oh, man, I just had it here.
You didn't do your Kylian Mbappe thing. That's
no, that... It was like just right here. This is what happens when there's no sports on,
right?
For a day, and then you have to struggle to find out who's hot and who's not. So then you do have to pick a soccer player. He just beat who is that guy? He's in the US now. Lionel Messi.
Lionel.
You
said Lionel?
Uh-huh.
That was Lionel.
It is.
Oh, I get you.
He's American now.
He's American. Now he's Lionel.
Now he's Lionel Messi.
Lionel M-E-S-S-Y. Lionel Messi.
Lionel.
Right. When are they getting that Ronaldo? Get that Ronaldo.
He's in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, well, okay. We don't talk about that.
Now here's where I fix everything and tell you who's not.
Who's not?
The New York Jets.
Yeah,
they're
not hot.
Yeah, not hot.
They have 5 straight losses now against the Chargers. Something that hasn't happened since 1962 when both teams were in the AFL.
Okay, because honestly, I didn't know where you were going with this. What is it? It hasn't happened since the 60s that the Jets have lost 5 in a row to the Chargers, or like literally nobody has lost 5 straight to the Chargers since the 60s, which may also be true.
You know what? That might be true.
That might also be true.
How I read it was
Lionel Messi.
He's American.
He's American.
He's going grocery shopping.
Yeah, that wasn't a stunt at a sponsor at all. I'm telling you, I'm watching this Beckham documentary, and golly.
English sports fans aren't the best.
I
forgot.
I would say, Kris, I would say that's one way that's one opinion. I would say they're really passionate about their soccer football. Really, really passionate. This is a true story in my guys' Twitter mentions. There were more than a few Huddersfield Town supporters that were letting him know how happy they were that the Republic lost so that he could focus on the real team. But you know what? Here's what I say. And let me take off my Huddersfield Town advisor's hat and just talk to you as old Carmichael Dave. Every fan base has sucky people.
Yes.
Everyone. They all have sucky people. What was the guy?
Prove it. The Kings have less than most.
Well, I would say very few on the suckitude meter. But then there was a guy in Chris's mentions the other day that was actually bragging about the fact that his soccer club charges more for games. Ha ha! My club screws fans more than yours. Eat it.
Yeah, if you ever brag about how much money your team makes, you're a dork.
My club's worth more than yours. I mean, we do kind of care about, like, if I see the Kings go from like 17th to 10th in the value rankings, yeah. But then, really, why am I doing that?
Yeah,
because there's nothing else to.
We made the playoffs.
They moved up higher. Great.
It did. All right, give me a NBA bet if you would, or something. It's not 1 in the key. It's not 2 in the key. You know, gosh darn it, it's time for 3 in the key. 3 in the key, brought to you by tonight's game. That's right, tonight's game right here on Sactown Sports 1140. Gary Gerald on the call. Also brought to you by charging less than other teams for ball games to your fans and being proud of it. Let's normalize normal prices. Back to you, Jason Rose.
Back to you. Oh, no, it is back to me.
Back to you again.
All right, 3 in the key.
Uno?
Dave, me, Kris. Let's go. We got to be better. We've not been very good in the last couple 3 in the Keys.
No.
So today's first category, I'm going to ask you first, Dave, the top 3 Kings scorers tonight and their point total. Yeah.
Before I get to it, can I ask you something?
Sure.
We've lost some games. Mm-hmm. Lost 2 terrible ones to Houston. Is it time for me to try something different?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say Domantas Sabonis. And you want the points?
Mm-hmm.
With 13. I'll say Malik Monk with 10. And give me Keegan Murray with 7.
Those are the high.
Top 3.
Okay.
Top 3.
See what you're doing
against
there.
the Portland defense. Stingy Portland defense.
Sticking with that?
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
That's right.
I've got Monk 21, Sabonis.
I'm sorry, it sounds like a spy movie. Monk 21 in theaters.
Sabonis 19, rated R. And Barnes 14.
Okay.
Kris?
Shoot more threes, Harrison.
I have Keegan Murray 19, Sabonis 18, and Barnes 17.
Interesting.
They're going to spread it around.
The Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Now, Dave made 3-pointers.
For the Kings?
For the Kings. Doesn't have to be open or...
I will say tonight, I'll call my shot. I'll go made and attempted. 10 of 33.
Okay. I have them making 14. Kris?
17.
Oh, wow. Okay. Random stat, Dave. Something different, weird, odd. That'll happen to you.
Shaden Sharp will have a career high, 39 points, and the Portland Trailblazers 113-97 victory.
That's a lot for me to write down.
Oh, sorry,
but I wrote it all down.
Okay, well done. Sorry, I was distracted by Nate's pink. Looks great. I love the color. Gray and pink is dope, dude. Dope, as the kids say.
Yeah.
No cap.
No, he has a cap on.
No cap. Uh-oh.
I loved when you guys had Katie on the horn earlier. That was really good.
Katie on the horn. That's what we do. Good. Good input there, Nate.
Dynamite drop in.
I'm glad you grabbed the mic for that one. Jason, back to you.
Keegan Murray will have a double-double.
Ooh, now, to be clear, are we talking hamburger and fries from In-N-Out?
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're talking points and rebounds, points and assists.
Rebounds.
Doesn't matter?
Yeah, no rebounds.
All right. Okay.
Kris?
Mine is also Keegan Murray centric. He will light the beam tonight.
Oh, that's actually we should use that more. That's actually a really good one. Light the beam.
He hasn't been playing, but I wonder if his brother will play tonight.
Oh, this is the first Murray off. We've got Hawkins Bowl.
Yeah.
And now we have the Murray off tonight.
Kris! Yeah, see?
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. Oh.
Burlod.
See? There you go. What's coming up next? Niners at 9.
Niners at 9 with Emil Fergoso.
When should we give away the Creed tickets?
Whenever you would like.
We'll do it. You know what? We'll do it sometime in the 9:13 segment.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live, but don't call now.
Yeah.
But we'll do it sometime in the 9:13 segment. Let's talk Niners at 9. Emil Fergoso joining us, and we will talk about, amongst other things, Chase Young, Debo, and Trent Williams. We'll do all that next on your Home of the Night.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
It's See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Replace your worn-out wiper blades and get up to a $20 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you purchase a pair of select wiper blades. See store for details. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
At Harbor Freight, we think you shouldn't have to break the bank to get great tools. Because we know that for some of you, tools are part of the job. And for others, they're just the beginning of making, fixing, restoring, and building. That's why we make high-quality tools that are priced affordably. Because we love being the start of all your working, making, fixing, restoring, and building. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Kris with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight after an awful trip to Houston. The Kings will be without their all-star guard, De'Aaron Fox, who is still dealing with a sprained ankle that he suffered against the Los Angeles Lakers. You can listen to tonight's game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. College football playoff rankings were revealed yesterday, and the teams remain unchanged. Ohio State is the number 1 team in the country, followed by Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State to make up the college football top 4. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Yep. All right, I'm just going to do this real quick. Niners at 9, Emil Fragoso joining us. And that's fine because I need a round table for this. Real quick, because we have so much to talk about with the Niners, but we have a long segment with Emil, so I feel like it's okay. But, it takes a village. Good morning, Emil, by the way.
Morning.
So I brought in this soup this morning, the pozole that I made for Jason and Kris, and this is in a Winco shopping bag. I frequent there, and they're not a sponsor, but, that's where it's a grocery store by my house. I realized at some point this morning randomly that and I'm admitting this publicly, and I hope this doesn't come back to bite me.
You're in a safe space, Dave. I'm sure I will not make fun of you.
I think I've probably inadvertently stolen 7 or 8 of these bags from Winco. Like, because here's what happens. They don't have the little hand things, buckets.
Yeah.
It's all carts. And usually I don't need a cart. I just need the little thing. And
a handful of items.
Yeah. And so what happens is they have them right by the door. And if you're on the radio, I'm sorry, not watching. This is, what are those, like recyclable?
Yeah, decorative bag, though.
Bags for shopping, right?
Probably $1 or $2.
$1 to $2.
That's pretty big. I would say that's probably like $4 to $5.
No, the most expensive one's $1.98 there, Chris.
Okay.
It's not trying to throw grand.
You've actually looked at the price.
Yeah, it's not grand theft shopping.
So you knew he should pay for it.
So no. Yeah. So, but here's the thing, and then I do the self-checkout and I always forget to check out the bag.
You forget?
I don't know how many, but I'm just going to put it at it's probably 6
over,
but I'll say 8. And if the most expensive one is $2, so that's like $16. So here's my question, legitimately, because I feel really guilty about this stuff. If I go into Winco later today and ask for the manager and explain the situation and give she or he a $20 bill, I know they're not going to arrest me or anything, but will they take it? And what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, look, I think I've accidentally stolen 8 of your bags. And I feel badly.
Why don't you use the word not paid for?
Yeah, don't say stolen.
It's what it is. I didn't purposely.
If you give the manager $20, he will pocket that himself. It's not going back in the bank for them.
And I understand that look, stop with your letters. I understand that stores write off loss and shop. I get it, but that doesn't. We hold ourselves to a higher. We should as leaders and parents and older brothers and father, whatever. So I'm going to go in today. I'll let you guys know what happens tomorrow, but I'm going to go in.
I say keep going. See if you can get $100 worth of loot.
Yeah, I think
did something very similar to that.
I saw this at it was at a 7-Eleven where he stole a bunch of Snickers bars as a kid, and then he went and he brought a case of Snickers bars and then paid for everybody in line. Well, we're in a little bit of a tax bracket difference, me and The Rock. So, I'm not saying it's going to hurt or anything to give the store $20, but that's
groceries for everyone.
That's not, yeah. So, all right. So if I'm not in tomorrow, it's either migraine or I'm in prison.
Get him, fellas. We've had an eye on you for a long time.
I think it brings a bigger problem, though, Dave. Why are we paying for bags?
Because I like to recycle.
No, but we shouldn't have to pay for bags. That's just my philosophy. Why are groceries charging bags?
You're talking about the plastic and paper bags? I agree. And the stupidest question I get asked by the cashier is always I have $150 worth of groceries. And as they're beeping them, they're like, well, how many bags do you need, sir? And I don't know.
No.
One. You tell me. You do
you
this
work here.
Right. I'm not Tetris. I don't know you tell me how many bags, overestimate, I'll pay for them and pay it on down the line. And I've done that before. I've gotten too many bags and I'll leave 2 for the next person. Be like, hey, pay it forward. There's 20 cents in bags, dog. All right. Chase Young is starting. I saw that officially. What a surprise. Chase Young will be part of the Buckeye Bookends in Santa Clara. And yeehaw, here we go, Emil. Couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, couldn't come at a better time. Chase Young looks fantastic. I saw him on Monday at practice in his first session. He's going to have another one today to actually officially start their practice week going into week 10. But Chase Young, he's a massive human being. He is an explosive person. Just looking at him next to Nick Bosa, he's bigger than Nick Bosa in terms of height, and even his lower half is kind of on par with Nick Bosa, which is kind of surprising. And just how much force he's able to generate and drive into the backfield. And I think that he's going to be able to be a really standout defensive end for them and going to really be that speed factor opposite of Bosa on the power side.
Emil is brought to us by Timber Creek Golf Course. Visit timbercreekgolfcourse.com to book your tee time today. Emil, last year there was a tangible spark when they added Christian McCaffrey. The locker room loved it. He came out and had results. What's the rest of the team feel about this addition of Chase Young? Because we know what he's capable of, but is the rest of that D-line, the rest of the defense excited that he's a part of the group?
Yeah, nothing but love for Chase Young. And he talked about that at his presser, that how, there's a difference, and he felt it right away coming from Washington to Santa Clara, of just a difference of culture, different vibe. And it was, he said, you can tell right away that this building is a room full of winners. And maybe it's a direct shot at Washington because Washington's a very dysfunctional franchise. That's very true. But the Niners have a culture of team first mentality. And he kind of compared it to Ohio State, actually, and how you are expected to win here. That's not the case for a lot of franchises. But for the Niners, you are expected to win. And that's what Chase Young wants. going into a contract year at 24.
Who does Chase Young, other than Bosa, benefit the most being on that line?
Everyone, the defensive tackles, frankly, because you can now do a 4-man rush where no one can go 1-on-1 or can go 2-on-1 with anyone. You can't double anyone. You have to go 1-on-1 because there's so much talent there. Whereas in the past, you can get away with, leaving single or leaving off Drake Jackson or just chipping him or chipping Randy Gregory. You can't do that with Chase Young. He's just too talented, too long, too fast off the line. And I think that's going to create a lot of problems for opposing offensive lines because you have to be aware of every single person, especially coming around the edge with Chase Young's speed and the Bosa's power. You got Armstead and Hargrave up the middle. There's a lot to like about this team. And God forbid they send Fred Warner up the gut with it. With that, I mean, it's pick your poison. And that's kind of where they're at with the Niners, that building strength on strength going forward.
I was going to ask you about that. You mentioned bringing Warner maybe on a blitz there, but do you think it changes anything personnel-wise here for Coach Wilkes that, it's always nice if you can get pressures with just rushing your D-line, but do you think they change anything scheme-wise because of their new personnel?
I think they want to leave their secondary back. They don't want to send all those all-out blitzes. Obviously, we saw Steve Wilkes get in trouble with that week 7 against the Vikings before the first half was over. I think they want to send 4 to 5 man blitzes most. They do not want to blitz that much. They want to leave their secondary behind so that the front four can take care of their job. And that's really the goal here, is that their defense is built on, the bread and butter is built on getting to the quarterback. And that happened a lot last year, and it's happened this year as well in terms of pressures, but they haven't gotten the sacks that you wanted. It's like you're going and going and going. You just can't quite get to the finish line. Well, now you got Chase Young. And if you can't get to the finish line now, then that's a defensive scheme problem. That's not a personnel problem.
Does Steve Wilkes, is he guaranteed to finish the year with the Niners?
I think he is.
Yeah. I mean, what if they just take a crap over the next 2 weeks and lose 1 or 2 more and the defense is still giving up 30 plus?
More than they already had the last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a real question of like, hey, do we give Chris Kasarik the play calling duty, and Steve, you kind of do this? Steve, do you want to move down from the booth to the sideline? We didn't get any confirmation, by the way, that Steve Wilkes is moving from the booth to the sideline, so I'm assuming he's staying in the booth for the foreseeable future. And I don't know what that does for psyche and mentality. You saw the Pittsburgh Steelers and Matt Canada bring him down. It kind of rejuvenated that offense a little bit, but I do think that Steve Wilkes is on a short leash right now in terms of you got to get this right. You got to have at least 1 week where this defense looks like the Niners defense of old. And I think it's going to come this week. But again, crazier things have happened. We didn't think the Niners would lose 3 straight games going into their bye week.
It's just a side question for you guys. Do you think we're ever going to have a situation, maybe we haven't, I don't know about it, but do you think we'll ever have a situation where a head coach is in the booth?
I don't.
No.
I know you have to have people down there to talk to refs and stuff like that, but I've often wondered, do you see the game better from the booth? Is there an advantage to seeing it from 100 feet as opposed to down? I can think of the advantages to being on the sidelines, but I also wonder if there's tremendous advantages from a play calling standpoint from being in the booth.
Yeah, play calling, I would say yes, and that Shanahan is one of the few. McCarthy does it, but there's so much more game management. When to call timeout, when to challenge flag, when to so many different things that a head coach has responsibilities for that I just don't see it happening.
All right, that's a dumb question. All right, so my real question is, what's the health report? Yeah. That's what we all want to know.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, Dave, honestly. And I assume you mean Debo and Trent. Is that where you're going with this? Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Well, Debo for sure is back. Debo Samuel practiced in full on Monday. No harness or any protection on his shoulder. And he said last week on K Adams' show that he was, ready to go. Well, Debo says he's ready to go. He's ready to go. And I believe that. Debo looked very good. And the overall vibe in the locker room was a lot more chipper coming back from the bye. And Debo was there having fun, shooting shots with the DBs and the wide receivers. And they were just having a good time. And I think Debo being back in this offense, we talked a lot about, is Brandon Ayuk more important? Is Debo Samuel more important? Is Christian McCaffrey more important? Well, the last 3 weeks have shown us that Debo Samuel is very, very important for the Niners and get their offense going. So having Debo back and having that offensive weapon of not just as a pass catcher, but a ball carrier is going to significantly help them and help their schemes going forward. In terms of Trent Williams, we don't know yet. I do think Trent is going to play this week. But today, Wednesday, and Thursday, especially tomorrow, Thursday, will be the true markers if he practices in full or limited in any fashion of where he is at currently with that ankle sprain. There was no brace on his ankle on Monday. He did not practice, but he was present. That's a good sign. And I think overall, Trent's looking to be back after missing the last couple of games with that ankle injury.
Again, our 49ers insider Emil Fergosa joining us, brought to you by Timber Creek Golf Course. Visit timbercreekgolfcourse.com to book your tee time today. Well, Emil, let's talk about the matchup then this week. The Niners have had an extra week to prepare. Jacksonville's been a good team. They've been hot lately. What's your thought on this matchup and maybe some things to watch against Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's going to be this kind of the same thing the last 3 weeks for the Niners. Is can they stop the run? Can they get the run defense going? Because Travis Etienne's been a very good running back this year. He's kind of more of an Alvin Kamara type running back, very much of a do-it-all guy out of the backfield. And I think Trevor Lawrence, while he hasn't had the statistical numbers you would like to see in year 3, I think he's still a very nice young quarterback. And Doug Peterson's a good coach. And a guy at home off a bye week themselves are going to look to win against a Niners team that still is a formidable opponent in the NFC.
Now, how do I put it this way? The Niners, I know I'm not bringing this up, Emil, just to talk betting, but the Niners are 3-point favorites in Jacksonville. And they say you get 3 points just for having a home field. So effectively, that's like they're a 6-point favorite, basically, if they're playing in San Francisco, coming off these 3 losses.
Sure.
Does that surprise you a little bit that the general consensus is that the Niners are going to beat a 6-2 Jaguars team?
I mean, it does a little bit because the Niners are coming off a 3-game skid and a bye week. So you're like, what is this team? They haven't won in a full month, right? They haven't won since Dallas in primetime in week 5. But at the same time, Niners did add Chase Young to an already very talented defense, and that's got to be factored in a little bit. And I do think the Niners are angry and upset and hungry and determined to really go on a run here. The Niners have really built their last couple of seasons on going on a run after the bye week, and I think that's kind of what the sports books are kind of checking there. And the Jaguars, for their credit, they haven't beat anyone amazing. I mean, the last games they had, they beat the Saints on Thursday Night Football, which the Saints aren't amazing. They beat the Steelers as well, which their offense is very not great. And so I think in terms of level of competition, this is one of the Jaguars' biggest tests, is that they can beat all the bad teams, but if you're going to be a real contender in the AFC, you got to beat a good one, and the Niners are a good one.
Emil, there was a while ago, obviously, when they're 5-0 and looking like they didn't have any flaws, best team in the NFL, and likely going to be the 1 seed in the NFC playoff picture. That's still not out of the question, but how much are they thinking about that at this point, at being 5-3, about still trying to target being the top seed in the NFC?
That's probably the least of their worries, at least of their concerns right now in terms of what they're focused on. They're focused on each week going 1-0 because the last few weeks they've been 0-3. And every single week, consistency and sustained success comes with winning every single day, winning each and every single game. And the Niners just haven't been doing that. So while it'd be great to be the number 1 seed and get that bye in the NFC, they know the reality right now. And the reality is that they have to focus on each game at a time, especially with the Eagles coming up in week 13. They have to get these wins when they can because they know they have tougher games on their schedule. And right now it's about just winning a game and going to 6-3 instead of 5-3.
Hi, sorry, my microphone. Emil Fergoso, Sactown Sports 49er insider. Mood during the bye week, importance of the bye week as far as integrating Chase Young. Let me finish that trifecta with, is this a type of defense Chase Young is going to mold fairly easily into, in your opinion? Is it just kill the quarterback and have fun? Should he be full speed come Sunday?
Yeah, he should be full speed coming Sunday, honestly. It's just like Chase Young said with Nick Bosa at Ohio State. It's just like college. It's a race to the quarterback. And that's what this is. It's a race to the quarterback. Get to the quarterback as fast as possible and take him down and create turnovers. And when they start doing that, not just pressures, but when they start creating, quarterback hits and sacks and interceptions, that's when the Niners defense comes to play because they are built on getting takeaways. And they are number 1 interception for a reason this year as a defense. But the pressures haven't gotten home. So once the pressures start getting home, which I do expect to be this week, I have them getting at least 3 sacks in this game. I think it's going to really come to fruition. It's like, okay, they're the Niners of old. They're the team that they're there for the first 5 weeks.
Offensively, too, they haven't been as dynamic lately. Part of that's Purdy, part of that's McCaffrey. He's still getting his touchdowns, not getting his yards. How much should we be just assuming Trent Williams, if he does play, and certainly, as you said, Debo will play, like that will just make everything just naturally better?
Yeah, just having your full offense. Like, again, this is a very top-heavy team, right? Especially on offense. You have to have McCaffrey healthy. You got to have Debo healthy. You got to have Brandon Ayuk healthy. You got to have Trent Williams healthy. When all of their stars come to play, they're the 49ers. And they still got Brock Purdy, who's a very good quarterback. I know he slumped the last 3 weeks a little bit, But I like what I saw in that Bengals tape on review. He threw for over 300 yards and kept them in the game. He was the team's leading rusher week 8 against the Bengals. That's not good enough. That can't happen. That's a fault on the rest of the team, not Brock Purdy. And while he did make those 2 costly interceptions in the fourth quarter, yes, he's not in a position right now where he can go out and win them the game by himself. He's just not in that spot yet. You got to have your team back you up, and the Niners haven't played to their standards. So it's all about execution, and I do think this week is going to be a big one for them on execution.
Where do the Jaguars hurt the Niners the most?
That's a tough one. I would say Pat throwing the football. The Niners secondary, they didn't do much to improve it, and if that's going to be the problem, if they're going to target, Isaiah Oliver with Evan Ingram, because Isaiah Oliver has a 100% completion rate right now, has not stopped a pass all season, and if they're going to use Evan Ingram and get the tight ends involved, it could be a long day in terms of the shootout. But I do think the Niners get home a little bit more against the offensive line. The Jaguars have a rookie right tackle, Antoine Harrison from Oklahoma, who's very talented, but has struggled a little bit his first season. I think Nick Bosa and Chase Young are going to see that, and they're going to pick on him a little bit. And so I do think the Jaguars could have a really good throwing game, but I think the Niners are going to shore up that run game and figure out how to stop them and win the line of scrimmage.
That is Niners insider Emil Fragoso. Read him at SactownSports.com. Content pregame, content postgame, and win or lose, and hopefully win. This is a massive, massive week. Dare I say, Emil, the most important week we've had so far in the Niners season.
It's must win. It's really must win. The next 2 games are kind of must win. You have to beat Jacksonville and you have to beat Tampa Bay at home. You have to come out of the bye.
Or what?
Or the whole season changes.
It's over.
Seattle gifted you the division right now, like losing to Baltimore last week on your bye. You have a real chance here to make a claim here and go to 7-3. But if they don't take care of business, it's going to be a different kind of season. And you could be like, well, what's next? Because I don't feel great about the Dirty Bird sandwich they got coming up.
Okay, I'm pumped up now. Yeah. I'm pumped up. And before I really didn't care about the game. Now
you're pumped up. Now it's real.
Now it's for real.
Yeah.
It's my Sunday marquee game of the week.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, sir. Have a great week.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Thank you.
Emil Fragoso. We will take a break. When we come back, what to watch tonight? And boy, do we have stuff to watch. And then we'll get to a crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. We'll do that next.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville is thrilled to present American Idol winner Chase Beckham, Saturday, November 18th.
Now I'm 23.
Don't miss out on your chance to see this talented country artist live.
If you don't take in the backwards,
Get your tickets now to see Chase Beckham at goldcountrycasino.com, November 18th at 8 p.m.
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Gobble, gobble, folks. It's that time of year again when the leaves fall, and so do the prices at Elk Grove Kia. We're bringing you Thanksgiving early with deals that'll make your wallet say thanks. This fall, our lot is stuffed with the latest Kia models, and we've carved out incredible savings. Get your hands on a brand new Kia with Elk Grove Kia's award-winning reliability and service you can trust, unlike your auntie's dodgy broccoli casserole. Don't wait until the turkey's on the table. Come to Elk Grove Kia and feast on the best deals this fall. And don't worry if you have challenged credit. Our finance team has over 100 years of experience. They may or may not have even helped a pilgrim or two get qualified. So hurry on down to Elk Grove Kia, where the prices are falling faster than Uncle Bob falls asleep in front of the football game at Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sale going on now at Elk Grove Kia, located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com. Elk Grove Kia, where the only thing bigger than our savings is our gratitude for our amazing customers.
Elk Grove Kia.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple of people recommended the Good Feet store to me, I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Most people know that the term birdie in golf refers to a score of 1 under par, but where did the term originate? According to Scottish Golf History website, it comes from the early 20th century American slang term bird, which meant anything excellent. While a 1911 edition of Maclean magazine described a golf shot as bird, straight down the course about 215 yards, the country club in Atlantic City lays claim to the first use of the word birdie. In 1898, A.B. Smith was playing the par 4 second hole when his second shot went within inches of the hole. That was a bird of a shot, he said, and claimed he should get double money if he scored 1 under par. He did indeed hold his putt, and the group thereafter referred to such a score as a birdie. In 1913, acclaimed writer Bernard Darwin wrote in the September issue of Country Life of his visit to America. He explained that it takes a day or two for the English onlooker to understand that a birdie is a hole done in a stroke under par. And now you know. That's Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight after an awful trip to Houston. The Kings will still be without their all-star guard De'Aaron Fox, who is still dealing with a sprained ankle that he suffered against the Los Angeles Lakers. You can listen to tonight's game, starting with game night at 5:30 and tip-off schedule for 7, right here on Sactown Sports. College football playoff rankings were revealed yesterday, and the teams remain unchanged. Ohio State is the #1 team in the country, followed by Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State to make up the college football top 4. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. And now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
My daughter texted me during the break. Daddy, did you bring all the pozole to work? Yes. Really? Like her father, she looks forward to after work / after school snacks. And I guess I deprived her of her after school snack. And I would just like to say publicly, tough.
Because she's at school.
That's life, pal.
Yeah.
Get used to losing. That's the fastballs life's going to throw at you here in a couple years when you're
how
off
you
in college.
handle it.
How do you handle adversity? Are you gonna break down and go cry to your mother like some weakling, or are you gonna jump up from adversity and make something happen?
Yeah. And make an even better meal.
Make an even better. Yeah, why don't you try making a pozole, child? On this day in 1975, Rudy got his sack against Georgia Tech. Here's something I didn't know about that, or I probably did, and I forgot about it. Did you know that Rudy sacked Rudy?
No.
The quarterback he sacked was Rudy Allen of Georgia Tech. That is a fun fact I never knew. It was Rudy on Rudy crime.
They did not say that in the movie.
Mount Rudy more, and then we'll move on here. Rudy from Cosby Show.
Huxtable.
Gay. Rudy Gay.
Gobert.
And Gobert. There you go.
Joe Rudy.
Huh?
Joe Rudy.
With an I.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Joe Rudy make it over any of the other Rudys? You got Notre Dame Rudy, Rudy Huxtable, Rudy Gay, and Rudy Gobert.
And from IHOP, Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. There was
Jack Rudy.
Jack. Ooh.
Oh wait, that's Rudy.
No, it's Jack Ruby. Jack Rudy.
I don't think Rudy should be on Mount Rudy more.
Rudy Huxtable or
No.
Rudy Notre Dame Rudy?
Notre Dame Rudy.
Rudy the red-nosed reindeer.
That's what his friends called him. Rudy from Notre Dame is arguably the world's most famous Rudy, though.
Yeah,
There's
but
literally a movie after him named Rudy.
But he's also like,
oh, is he? Oh, really? Is he?
Like, no. He's not. I want to say there was something to do with an insurance scandal.
Did you meet him? He was at the station.
What?
Yeah.
Rudy was here?
Yeah.
When?
Well, it's Cozumel.
10 to 15 years
No.
ago.
Yeah.
Really?
And then people were calling and asking him questions like, so when your brother came in with your girlfriend, and it's like, that's
no way.
That's a movie.
That's a movie. Anybody asked him if he was cool with Sean Astin? Samwise Gamgee playing him? Yeah, in a role. Who do you think gets more noticed? Rudy or Beaver? Wait, Beaver's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I think
alive.
so.
Jerry Mathers?
I don't think Rudy's that noticed.
No?
No.
Who do you think has more like
Could you pick him out? Like if you
No.
saw Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, what about this? Whose schedule in their phone is more full of events? Rudy or Beaver?
Jerry Mathers.
Jerry
As the
Mathers?
Beaver.
Right.
Like in Indiana, he's probably just like going up and down the state.
Used to be another Rudy on that Mount Rudy Moore.
Ah.
Not anymore. Sucker. You're off the Rudy Moore. I don't have a transition. Let's just go to what to watch tonight. There's a lot to watch.
I used to do a show with Rudy.
You did?
Yeah.
Used to do a show.
Me and Damien and Ken Rudy.
I hate you so much, Jason. Blazers and Kings tonight. Golden One Center. That's right.
You gonna watch? Brave the elements?
Yeah. Wait,
It's not safe in there right now.
In the G1C?
No, they're safe. But I mean, Kings right now.
Yeah, I gotta watch though. It might be like a car crash, but I will tell you.
But it's our car crash.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
With pride.
I will open up, and I haven't done this really with the Kings since the playoffs. I will anger watch. Like, I'm going to be the guy that's watching TV with my arms crossed and just like waiting for people to screw up and then yelling at them because they can hear me when they do, you know, or our guy Herder misses a shot. Come on, Kevin, pull your head out. Harrison, play defense. DeMontis,
great team.
But if you were at the game,
yeah,
would you be saying that?
No.
Yeah.
No, because they could hear me.
Yeah.
I'm a big fat
You
coward.
could be the guy, where's that at Yankee Stadium? The guy that was upset and he just stood up.
Just did the thumbs down.
Just stood there and just.
No, I wouldn't do that because I don't want to make them feel bad.
But I can do it at TV.
But at home, I can yell at the TV, and then my kids are like, "They can't hear you." Like, you can.
What does the coach think? Has the coach got this solved? What's wrong with the Kings?
Mike Brown?
No, the coach in your house.
Oh, Melissa?
Yeah.
They have to try harder. I don't know what she'd say. Okay. They have to do something.
I mean, she's got coaching experience.
This coaching stuff is crap, by the way. I got to be honest with you. I'm not. Every day till January, same schedule. They get home at 8 o'clock. I got to go pick up Avery 20 minutes away, bring her back, make dinner, and then wait for them to get home. And they come home and they're all tired and lame. It's really messing with my environment.
You don't win Coach of the Year without some work.
She's putting, look.
Listen.
I wish she'd draw up some more plays around the house. You know what I'm saying? and by that, what I mean is just simply spending time with everyone.
That's the play.
Celtics
I'm attempting to dazzle Dave.
That'd be nice. Celtics and Sixers. It's a battle of the 5-1s. Combined, Jason, they're 10-2.
Yeah, you're right.
The Celtics lost to the Giant Killers, the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have beaten both the Nuggets and the Celtics.
Wow, Giant Killers.
Giant Killers. Well, it's that Twin Towers you love so much.
They're giant.
They're
themselves.
Mesh. Yeah, they are. That'd be a great name for them, the Giant Killers, because they're giant killers of big, bad teams. That'll be on tonight. Clippers and Nets. Second game for James Harden. You know what's funny? I forgot about his first game. How'd he do?
He was okay.
Was he all right?
It was okay.
It was
okay.
It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
What was James Harden's line against the New York Knickerbockers here? I believe that's who it was. He started, played 31 minutes, was 6 of 9. Nice. 17 points, 6 assists, 3 boards.
I kind of looked at that like he was a system.
He is a system.
Yeah.
Also, the Clippers 0-1.
Yeah.
The Clippers have yet to win a game since James Harden started playing for him. Shocker. He just brings his stink everywhere he goes. So you'll have that tonight. Clips and Nets, a battle of the player I dislike the most and a player I'm very fond of.
Yeah, for some reason.
Will Ben Simmons continue his
mediocrity?
Mediocrity.
I mean, he did have 2 points in the last game.
Right. But he also did a lot of other things off the ball.
Yeah, I think he had 10 rebounds.
6.5 points, 10.8 boards, 6.7 assists on 53% shooting. Tell me we couldn't use that. Hey, let me ask you this in all seriousness.
Okay.
Yeah, you put Ben Simmons in for Harrison.
Okay.
Are we 0-3 in the last 3? 0-2 in the last 2?
Yeah, they were. Well, they might have won maybe the Warrior game. Maybe. That's one change, but the other two, they were so bad.
I think they're 3-0. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Spurs and Knicks. Hey, Wemby goes to New York.
How about that?
You think he'll see a
future
play?
Home? Future home.
Yes, future home. That's never going to get old, is it? Like every player at some point, that's a big deal, has been linked with the Knicks.
Yeah,
because that's where basketball mecca is.
It's been that. They've not won one championship or two, have they?
Or two.
When
did that?
Yeah.
Have they won one in our lifetimes?
Not mine.
Definitely Jason's.
No. And here's the other thing. Like, they're always signing the big stud.
Yeah. I mean, they did get Giannis and LeBron.
Am I wrong in saying that their biggest free agent signing in memory is Jalen Brunson? Like, no offense to Jalen Brunson either, but
did you see Linsanity? It's great.
Who was before? Did they draft Allen Houston? I think so.
Yeah, they traded for Carmelo.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that worked out.
Porzingis was the unicorn, but they've long dealt him.
Tingus Pingus. Lakers Rockets. This is a battle for Western Conference supremacy?
Yeah. Dylan Brooks versus LeBron, the feud.
I'm rooting for the Rockets.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yes,
because,
you are.
A, it's the Lakers, and B, I'm weirdly rooting for the Rockets now because if they beat other teams, then I'll feel a little better about us.
Well, they're 500.
They are 500.
I think 3-3, 3-4, something like that.
And then finally, this is, got to be honest, the Warriors and Nuggets in Denver. This very well, Jason Ross, could be a Western Conference Finals preview.
No, the Kings aren't involved in this.
I said it could be.
Oh, there you go.
If the Kings don't figure it out.
Yeah.
We all know that the road to the Western Conference runs through Sacramento.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it walks through likewise.
Yeah, this moment, last year's 2 and 3 seeds, the Grizzlies and Kings are not in the top 10 at this moment.
They're out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to watch tonight.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we got football. We got a UFC this weekend. There's other things going on I forgot about, but I know obviously Niners and Jaguars and all that. I feel like there's another event going on this weekend that I'm spacing out.
Well, you were going to be in Miami or Florida State.
Yeah. My dad's probably listening, Jason.
Okay. You were not going.
That's what he's going to say.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's cross it up, shall we?
I like that.
Styles and Watkins and Styles, celebrity birthdays as well. What day of the week is it? And so much fun. We'll wrap up the program for you next.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Good Guys Heating and Cooling has a deal going on right now that you cannot miss. This summer was much shorter and cooler than normal, so that means Good Guys is overstocked and ready to clear out their warehouse. They've got inflation-busting pricing on a brand new heating and air system for just $82.99. No other company is offering a replacement system that low. Call Good Guys now at 530-GOOD-AIR to see if you qualify. That's 530-GOOD-AIR for a no-cost qualification appointment. Best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull. License number 1057-618.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
A little more hesitant today.
Yeah.
Not quite the.
I just realized. Now I know why you're dressed up. Now I know.
Am I dressed up?
Yes. Al and I are chilling. Kris has a nice jacket on.
I'll take the jacket off.
The bling, as the kids say, on the outside. The chain. Is that a chain or a rope? That's a rope, right?
No, it's a chain.
It's a chain. What's the difference between a chain and a rope?
The rope's like kind of like it looks like a
like a rope.
Like a rope, yeah.
Because there's no chains in that, is it?
I mean, this is a chain.
That is a chain. Okay.
Yes.
How you doing?
Like there's no pendant.
I just realized. So yeah, that's why everyone's dressed up downstairs. That's why, because like the owner of the company's coming in.
Yeah, and I don't know why you didn't include me. I got a collared on.
Yeah. I did.
I got my Tiger Woods on. You know?
James L. Bonneville's coming in today.
Yes. John Bonneville is coming in today.
John Bon, as we call him.
I always worry about that. Like on one hand, I think like you dress nice, it shows respect. But also, if I was a manager or an owner of something, I'd always be like, it's like someone who wears too much cologne. What are you hiding?
Yeah,
it's a front.
Like I want to know. I want to know what you're like. Like if I was the owner of a company, I would not announce that I'm busy. I would come in on like a Wednesday at 1.
Undercover boss?
100%. But when I walk in the door, everyone knows I'm the boss, but it's undercover. Like, because when we get the bigwigs that come out, they announce it like weeks in advance. Like, and then there's emails and replies and, the things you got to do. And
you're a reply all guy?
No. Oh, God, no. Yeah. No. I reply all is annoying as hell, dude. Like, we don't, every time a group or a company email goes out, there's always one schmo that's like, okay, great.
And 90% of it is, I didn't mean to send that to everybody.
Right.
Did you just do one?
I replied all last week.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait a minute.
And then you said, didn't mean to send that to everybody.
Yeah. But in my defense, I meant to reply all. And I want to say I probably replied all twice in my life. Here it was because our office manager. It was Cindy Jordan.
Yeah,
and something. And I replied all
like
about
keeping some extra sodas.
Right, she out of her own pocket stocked the fridge with sodas and snacks because we have like a few days between vending machines because they're doing a changeover. And so I replied something like, "We don't deserve you, Cindy. Thank you." So because she doesn't get the credit. Yeah. Cindy's the best, and she doesn't get the credit she deserves.
It really is.
You're new here, but you'll.
Cindy's I believe you. I've worked with Cindy already.
Yeah, she's great.
So you're telling me that this hairstyle is just a coincidence? You didn't know that the bosses were coming in today. Just a total coincidence that Dave manicures his hair.
I've been trying to mix it up a couple times.
It looks good.
No, it looks great. I thought it looked.
I even that's why I switched to monitors. Except when Alan's taking the spot here because it doesn't mess with the. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I
used to have that problem.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah,
I had to take the top off.
I have. It's like I have an indent from these headphones. No, I didn't know, but I'm glad she's coming in. Went fantastic. We're all very proud to work here, and we appreciate coming into our beautiful offices here in near downtown Sacramento to help celebrate National Cappuccino Day. I don't even know what a cappuccino is, dude. Seriously, isn't it like espresso and milk or something? I don't.
You got it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, then what the hell is heck is a latte?
I think it's more milk, right?
Really?
It's a latte more milk.
Hey.
Today is National Harvey Wallbanger Day. Oh, really? What the heck is a Harvey Wallbanger? I've heard of it before. It's a fruity and spirited cocktail made with vodka, orange juice, and Galliano.
You know what's funny about that is that reminds me of one of the drinks if you watch Bar Rescue, right? And they say you should know how to make a Harvey Wallbanger, and they never know how to make it, but also in real life, no one's ever ordered it. That's a Harvey Wallbanger.
Who goes into like if you go into a bar? I'm not a bar guy, but if you go in there and you're like, I'd like a Harvey Wallbanger, please. Or like, yeah, see, that'll be 3 pennies, man.
Keep it down, see?
Right, exactly.
2 fingers.
Right. And is that the equivalent? And so I don't watch the Bar Rescue, but I watch the food shows.
Yeah.
And one of the things that a lot of these guys, like Gordon Ramsay and a lot of these other people do is they ask you, the cooks, to make them an omelet.
Right.
They say, make me some scrambled eggs or make me an omelet right when they, as part of the interview. Because if you can't do that, then you can't. If you can't do the basics, then you can't do, the other stuff.
You should watch Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue?
It's really good.
Is it great if you don't drink or go to bars?
Yes.
I'm asking.
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Is that guy always mad?
Yeah. Always. John Taffer's always mad.
Shut it down.
Shut
I was just going to say, I just got hit with a memory. Yeah, didn't he come
T-Pain.
in? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute now.
Yeah, it was good T-Pain.
I think I got into it with this guy on Twitter.
You did.
I did.
With John Taffer?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because he trashed
Yes.
Trash City.
He
Trash
trashed
sports radio.
Sports radio. He trashed the
city.
Kings.
Wait, why?
Yeah, because he's
Oh,
a
wait, is
bagel.
this the one that it was a sports bar and he kept saying Sacramento's not a sports town?
Yes,
I saw that one.
Yes.
I saw that
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
I mean,
We're out on Bar Rescue now.
Yeah, they suck. That's
I'm out now,
Dave
sorry.
catnip, dude. You come after us as a sports city or whatever.
That's right.
What did he say back?
I don't.
Shut it down.
He said, make a Harvey Wallbanger.
Yeah, make me some scrambled eggs. Celebrities are having birthdays today, and we're going to celebrate that with crumble cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with friends and family and all that stuff. Nothing brings family and friends together better than crumble cookies.
We have a little bit of irony here.
Irony.
Happy birthday, Gordon Ramsay.
Hey, we were just talking about that.
Yep.
Tastes like a dog's dinner. That's always my favorite.
His F word show.
Do what?
His show, the F word, was really good. I don't even know if they still do it.
I like older Gordon Ramsay.
I watch all of it. I watch Hex Kitchen. I watch the one you were talking about, Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you watch a 4-level cook or 4-level chef or something?
Yes,
where it's
next
like
level chef.
Yeah,
I
next
watch them
level
all.
chef.
Oh.
Yeah, clearly I don't either.
My wife watches all these. I just pick them up kind of tangentially.
Master Chef as well.
Master Chef. She watches. Always watches Chopped.
Oh, I love Chopped. Chopped is outstanding. You know what I like about Chopped, real quick?
Yeah.
Is that there's always a winner. Out of every, in this day and age, you would think there'd be one tie.
Yes.
There's never been a tie on Chopped. Always a winner.
That's where they give you random ingredients.
Yeah.
I'll just say, Gordon Ramsay, by the way, is 58. But I'll say this: Chopped just sucks, and I'm going to try. Can I tell you why?
You set me up.
Sure. Because I like to watch food shows that I get something out of. Never in my life am I going to take liver, a gumball, pig anus, and some Galliano when I need to make a dessert. That's never happening. I get nothing out of it. Oh, you're creative. That's rad. But I want to learn to, I get more out of the Oklahoma lady, the Pioneer Woman. I get more out of her than I do.
But you watch shows for different reasons.
I know, but I'm
supposed to be, if it's not entertaining to you. After moving, I was glad I watched Chopped. I had I got a couple garbanzo beans, some chicken nuggets,
a ravioli,
I'm gonna deconstruct it.
A tortilla.
Yeah. Gordon, I think he's shady older. I'm gonna go 61.
I'll say 65.
I'm gonna say
That's too old.
59. Next year's a big one.
Oh, nice. Carmichael Dave for the win. You said 58. He's 57.
That's right. No, he's Gordon Ramsay.
Why
is everybody get quiet with that?
This is the Entertainment Tonight theme, correct?
Yes.
Another bit of irony. Mary Hart, one of the originals from Entertainment Tonight.
Oh, Mary Hart.
Still sits right there behind Dodger Stadium, right there at home
That's
plate.
right.
Yeah.
Mary Hart. Mary Hart, weirdly enough, Mary Hart was 14 when she first started Entertainment Tonight. Did you know that?
That seems illegal.
She was, had a work permit.
I still don't think that's.
I'll let you lead off, though. How old do you think she is?
Sweet Mary is 68.
That's about right.
Yeah, I think she's 72.
Kris?
65.
She's like, I'm going to say Mary Hart is 80.
Alan for the win, 73.
Wow. I was trying to throw you guys off, too. She wasn't really 14.
Happy birthday to Eric B. from Eric B. and Rockin.
Eric B. Enemy.
Yeah. I'll tell you something that pissed me off about entertainment tonight. I still remember the very first time. I remember the very first time that it premiered, and they premiered it, I don't know if you remember, as E.T.
Yeah.
Which was right around the time.
Right,
and I thought it was a show. Legit.
Yeah,
little
it was all
me.
E.T.
I thought it was about E.T.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was the John Tesh and the lady with the stuff.
Yeah. Mary Hart.
Phone home.
Eric B. is turning 62 today. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I can't.
He's 56.
56?
Coach B is 65.
61.
Alan for the win, 58.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
The tides are turning.
Give that man a head coaching
Happy
job.
birthday to former number 1 pick quarterback Sam Bradford.
Oh, Sam. Sam Bradford's 37.
I think that's close, though.
It is. I nailed it.
I think you're heat seeking.
I am.
I'm going to say 36.
It's 34.
38. We have a correct answer.
It's Carmichael Dave.
And it's Alan Stiles, 36. On fire. One last one. Giancarlo Stanton.
Giancarlo Stanton is he is 32.
Michael is 34.
Man,
I'm gonna call him Michael.
That's a really confusing one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say he is a little bit younger than he appears. I'm gonna go 31.
31? Well,
30.
take the one. 30? What do we got here?
We have a correct answer.
Yeah.
And it is Chris Watkins, 34.
All right, we'll take off the 3 off the top. We'll go with caller number 4 at 1-800-912-1140. Sactown Sports teaming up with Live Nation to take you higher. Hit up Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Looking for caller number, what did I say, 4 to win a pair of tickets to experience Creed live in Wheatland on September 1st. For everybody, I'm Dave. See you tomorrow. Great show coming up with Stiles and Watkins. They're going to talk about things, and they're also going to break down the other thing. Don't go away. We are right back in the stuff. Bye-bye.
Trying to find out where to catch